Greetings and salutations, and welcome back, friends. We are here tonight to go what some people would call off topics, but remembering that we didn't start the show to cover one strange topic. We started this show to cover many strange topics, and we used to veer off into strange conspiracies all over the internet, but haven't done so for quite some time. One of those weird things on the internet is something called Florida Man. And for those unaware, just go Google Florida Man. You will get hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of stories about strange, weird things that a Florida man did. Now, there are some clues as to why this whole conspiracy has taken place, but I wanted to bring in somebody that knows maybe a little bit more about it. And being a Florida man himself, my guest tonight, GG, as most people call him, or Guerilla Gamer, he does sort of like reviews of some of these articles, and he knows much more about this. And you may also remember that, again, we used to cover lots of strange and esoteric subjects. I just want to know, I have looked into this and there's something to this because I tried Googling Pennsylvania man, New Jersey man, New York man, and many, many other states, and you just don't get this huge number. And they're all weird stories like, like man masturbating in playground, says he was, his fly broke, like there's all these, it's just so strange, these Florida man stories. So joining me tonight to talk about this, wait, let me do something here. I always forget to change that background before we bring the guest in. There we go. All right, Gigi is here.
Hey, man.
Welcome.
How you doing?
I don't know if you don't want to talk about it, but I thought maybe first we might want to just address this elephant in the room.
Sure.
Because you have cancer. Is that true that you really have cancer? Gigi, right?
That is true. Sad but true.
Yeah, and I'm sorry
100%.
for that.
Hey, man.
Every day I have a list, Gigi, of people. I don't pray for myself. I pray for other people. And I have a whole list. I've added you to the list. And I think we should all pray for Gigi here, that healing light finds him, and that his treatment plan works as expected. You have a pretty good prognosis though here.
It's something that I have to get checked I have to get an MRI every month to check.
Wow. I've been through it. My brain thing, that I hate those things, the banging, and you're in this tube for like an hour. It's terrible.
It sucks. I found though that a sleeping mask, you put that on, it's like magic. It's like if you don't see where you're at.
For the next time I ever get one of those bad boys, that was terrible.
Like magical, because I hate them. I hate them.
I hated that, and I think it was CAT scan. They kept giving me this gross stuff to drink and doing these CAT scans.
Yeah.
But where my aneurysm was, they couldn't see it on a CAT scan, only on an MRI. So they kept giving me CAT scan after CAT scan after CAT scan. Here, drink this gross stuff. Nothing worked until the MRIs. But I hated those. But just to be clear, you actually released publicly your doctor's information and the prognosis. For those unaware, if you get a diagnosis like that, they give you paperwork. And Gigi, when some stupid person is running around telling people that he's faking his cancer, Gigi does what I would do. He posted publicly on Twitter. You could go to his Twitter. He posted the paperwork from the medical center that proves he really does have cancer, and what his treatment plan is, and his doctor, and all this. And I don't think you should have had to do that, first of all.
No.
But I'm glad that you did. And isn't it's insane that even after he posts this stuff, some dummy is going to keep saying this stuff. And what bothers me most about that is, Gigi, you got enough to worry about. You should be focused on your own, healing and wellness and well-being, not some idiot on the internet that's telling people cancer when and he kept doing it after you posted this stuff. That's what
he's
makes
still doing it. He's still doing it. He's doing it as recently as Halloween when he cursed me.
Did he call you the P word yet? He likes doing that too.
No, he didn't call me the P word yet, but I mean,
by the way, I don't know if you're aware, but I think some of this may be my fault. And if I had any part in him doing that, or it's my fault at all, I want to apologize to you. But let me explain to you. I went after somebody called UFO Proof, and we played this whole blog of people, this whole podcast of people being interviewed by Heathcliff from Astral Citizens, because it turns out one of Third Phase's employees, subcontractors, whatever you want to call him, he's like Goofon. He's one of those cheap whores, that sold out to them. So he worked for Third Phase, and I went after that guy because he verifiably, Gigi, faked terminal cancer. And then it gets better. Then the local community, he fakes cancer. He's trying to beg everybody for money. The local community where he lived got together, and they had a cancer benefit for this guy, UFO Proof. And at the cancer benefit, there was gift certificates around, but they were dummy cards. They weren't the real gift certificates. He stole the gift certificates from his own cancer benefit. And there's verifiable proof and many, many witnesses that he faked cancer. And I went after that guy for that. And I think that this is sort of like he's trying to get back at me for making Third Phase look stupid, because they verifiably are working with somebody that really did fake terminal cancer and stole from his own cancer benefit. He's got a huge drug problem. I think he just saw you and went, oh, he's faking cancer too. But I don't understand how they condemn you and they work with the guy who really did fake cancer. You really have it. Like it's your paperwork. This is so stupid that you have to deal with this. And I'm sorry, by the way, if I had any part in this.
No. I don't believe so. I have no paper trail. I have no money related to my revelation. I don't accept donations.
Yeah, he said,
in any
just to
way,
be clear,
shape, or form.
he said that you were faking cancer to beg for donations. And to be very honest, I didn't want to speak out of turn, so I looked and I looked and I looked. I have not seen Gigi begging for anything. And in fact, your YouTube channel is not even monetized, so you can't even. Yeah, he was implying that you were saying, oh, I have cancer, send me super chats or something. And you can't even take them on your show yet.
No. And I don't have a buy me a coffee. I don't have anything like that set up. So I don't have a PayPal. I don't have anything. I have no way of accepting funds from anybody.
Yeah, there's literally no way that he could have faked cancer to beg for donations, because he doesn't even have. This is what pisses me off, though. This is why I get so angry at this dummy, because do you even look at a situation before he does not have facts in hand before he puts his mouth in gear, and this is very damaging. And I don't understand how he could be on YouTube doing this stuff.
Man, every time he makes that statement, I flag it, I report it, I give YouTube the exact, I give them the exact timestamps, everything. And on one hand, it's I try not to let him bother me even in the least. I mean, he thinks it's getting under my skin. Man, I think about him a half a second of a day. I mean, he is the least problematic
by the way,
thing.
You and me are both cursed by tarot cards from Five Below. Dude, he's a big spender. He went to Five Below and got the tarot cards in the book at Five Below. And then he somehow thinks that pulling a tarot card, by the way, you're not supposed to do that without permission. You get wildly inaccurate predictions if you do that. But he tells everybody he's going to curse us live on his show. And that was clickbait garbage to get people to tune in. And then what he does is he pulls tarot cards. He's got magic powers. Do you feel cursed right now? Because I don't.
I drew the Hermit card. So apparently I've been feeling pretty shut in and like a fucking hermit ever since. No, man. That dick, he could have drawn any card out of any deck that he wanted, and it means shit to me. I mean, pull the cancer fucking card out. I am. God damn it. No,
Yeah,
it just
and I think that he prearranged those cards too. He didn't actually draw the cards at random because it's a little too convenient that the cards both say what he wants to say about the both me and you and Anthony and this and that, you know?
Yeah, but he could have gotten anyone and he would have spun it. Because what's he reading? What does he know? You know what I mean?
Shut up! He's the Grand Wizard of the trailer park in Florida that he lives in.
You goddamn right he is. Right down there in Brooksville.
See, I am a little worried though, because you know, like me and Anthony live like a 24-hour drive from him, because me and Anthony both grew up in like a rough neighborhood growing up, and like we, you know, there's just a different way of doing things when you grow up in a place like that. And when somebody starts this kind of stuff, you know, things can get bad. But I'm thankful. Like, I have a wife and children. I wouldn't risk anything to get in a physical fight with him or anything like that. But you live real close to him, so you must have awesome self-restraint. Because if I had cancer and there was some idiot on the internet telling everybody that I was faking it, I don't think I'd be able to hold myself back. You know?
You know what really gets me is I know for a fact that this guy, just his existence, is worse than any fucking punishment that I could give him.
That's how I feel. That's why I'm not like,
he is such a miserable prick that my imagination just runs wild of the things that I could do to him that cannot replace waking up and looking at that mug in the mirror every day.
He's a bitter, angry, little jealous man. That's what it is. It's like
jealous.
Badly.
And especially jealous of a guy, you know, like me, who's got almost 600 subscribers. I mean, come on, man. I do a stupid comedy show. What the fuck can I have that is threatening to him? Except for just say that I've only repeated what he has said publicly. He shows his weed on, you know, in a state where you got to have a card for it. Okay, he shows that that's him doing it. I'm not seeking that out. I'm just providing the service of saying, hey, buddy, you might not want to do that. Probably not too smart unless you got a card. I'm just saying. Somebody might call the cops. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying there's people. There's people. And, you know.
I do think the cops have better things to do, but it is funny
of course they do.
And I think it's funny that he's coming after me, telling everybody that I'm begging for super chats to buy gifts for my children, which, by the way, was so funny because I bought the gift like a month before I ever met. I just mentioned they're expensive. That's it. I just was talking about, geez, these gifts for kids are so. Because I was thinking about my father and what my father would have said or done if I had asked him for $1,000 worth of Christmas presents, you know? But it's a different time, and he's a good kid. We bought it for him. My wife bought it for him a month before I ever mentioned it. And he's running around telling people I'm begging for super chats to buy gifts. And even if I was, that's my money. I earned that, you know? Like, it's so stupid.
I
think he's really pissed off. You know why he's pissed off, Gigi? Because I can buy my son $1,000 worth of and really I gave it a thought, but after that I didn't give it a second thought. I said, this is what he wants. He's been good all year. He's really, really interested. And by the way, poor kid, I made him go through everything. I made him play an Atari. Then I let him play my Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1. Now he's up to Xbox 360, and he pretty much said, like, Dad, I can't take it anymore. I need a new console. I need the good one. And then we said, all right, we're going to cave and get you the good one, you know?
See, and he wouldn't understand that as a parent anyway, making a responsible decision for your child. That's something you do as a parent. He'll never get that, man. He couldn't squirt one fertile semen out of that nasty urethra of his to obviously make a hell spawn of his own.
Oh, so, man. Yeah.
I mean, when the truth comes
Yeah,
down
well,
to
so
it, you
far,
can't
so
speak
far,
on
though,
anything.
GG, what he did to you was worse than what he did to me. But it is funny that so far he's brought my son into this stupid disagreement. He's brought my wife into it. By the way, he said that he thought my wife was one of the dancers in one of my intros, and he's so dumb that he doesn't know. Like, that's a green screen collection, you dummy. That's not my wife dancing in the beginning of my show. But then he said that my wife was the ugly one or something like that. And by the way,
No.
my wife is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed goddess among women,
See?
and she's got a great job, great mom. He wishes that he had somebody in his life like that. That's what this is ego and jealousy and bitterness,
Yes. That's why I think that, man, I would hate to be him. I don't like being me very much when I wake up some days, but I sure as fuck don't feel as bad as he does every day. I know
Yeah,
it,
I don't know. I feel
even
I
in
don't
my
I'm not
condition.
I'm not angry when he does these things. I feel sorry for him
No,
because
that's
look,
how I
this is
feel.
what we're up to. We're up to him calling a few people that were critical of third phase of moon pedos. We're up to him accusing you of faking cancer, calling people's wives ugly, fat shaming people, defending Nazis. It's like
Good
it is
Nazis.
like the good Nazis. It's like how much worse can this guy get, right? Like it
Yeah.
boggles my mind. I go, what's next? Like, is he going to be killing kittens on a live stream next to get views? Like, this it's just gets worse and worse every week.
Goof on Stomping Puppies Live
No,
tonight at 9.
we're giving him ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Super Dono. I'll stomp this puppy. Come on, dick.
well, okay. I guess we've addressed the elephant in the room, and I don't really want to waste time on the Doctor
Yeah.
Strange goof with the magic superpowers. We're both cursed. I'm not feeling very cursed. In fact, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow, GG, and I never do this. I'm going to do one of two things. There's casinos right near me. I'm either going to go to the casino and I'm going to put $50 in a slot machine and see what happens, or I'm going to go buy $50 worth of scratch
Oh,
offs. And we're going to see if my
good idea.
fortunes are diminished and I'm going to hit rock
Yeah,
bottom
that's right.
financially. And,
That's right. You
you
did
know,
get the first card. Yeah. Well, see, and I should go buy a fucking lotto ticket to get out of the house to prove I'm no hermit.
yeah.
So it's it could be
I
a
would actually I would take that card because I'm that kind of guy. I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to do anything. I want to stay home, and
yeah.
or I go to the cabin. But when I'm at the cabin, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay there and work on projects there. So
I mean, as soon as he pulled that one, I'm thinking, of course I'm not. Would I be angry at that, or would I rather have the party animal card, Captain Social? I mean, what does that even? It means nothing to me. He could have pulled a Jack of Hearts out. It just, to me, I don't put much stock in that, especially coming from him. I would from a professional, from somebody who's
who knows what they're
obviously,
doing?
yeah,
He doesn't even know the
not
card
this guy.
meanings. He's reading them from a book.
Yeah, not this guy.
He's a grand wizard of a freaking trailer park. Yeah, I said on my show, and I mean it, Gigi, though, I know a few people, including, believe it or not, one Catholic priest who has studied the occult their entire lives. And if they told me that they were angry with me or pissed off at me for whatever reason and were cursing me, I would be concerned.
Right.
But not this guy in a trailer park with a set of Five Below tarot cards. It's so silly. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not taking my tarot readings from a guy wearing an Under Armour shirt and hat that match. Okay, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and you know what? The one thing that does bother me is that people still, even in today's cancel culture, I don't know why, but people keep sending him money. And I'm not angry at the people that send him money, but I think they should be aware that when you send him money, right, these are some of the things you're supporting. Defending Nazis, calling people pedos with absolutely no proof. Oh, making fun of disabled people. I wasn't aware, but he's done that multiple times now, not just to me. Fat shaming people, let's see, defending Nazis, telling people they're faking their cancer. When you send him money, that's what you're telling him it's okay to keep doing these things. Here's some money for it. And it's It makes me sad that people would send him money for that kind of shit.
It does. And what about that show he had, which was just telling you how to be a man? And it's like the He-Man woman.
I love it when guys who are divorced tell me how to be a successful man.
Right.
And look, in full disclosure, sometimes divorces just happen, but sometimes guys deserve it. You know, I know a lot of bitter, angry divorced dudes that hate women. He's one of them. He hates women. He's a bitter, angry divorced guy, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry you couldn't make her come and she left, bro. But,
sorry, you know. Bro. It happens.
Speaking of money, thanks Long Island Bigfoot for kind of giving us $2. So let's get to this Florida. What do you got for
man?
Me? Let's get into this. This is so crazy because if you look up Florida Man, you find all kinds of stories about dudes getting caught masturbating, pulling their cocks out, and all this weird sex.
It just goes on and on, man. You could, oh my God. I mean, just 5 minutes before the show, I looked and saw like 3 fucking stories that just blew my mind. I mean, instantly. And, you know.
Well, you can share your screen if you want to share something. I know we were going to.
Okay. Here,
and by the way, Gigi, I'm sorry. I had a rough day today, and I'm a terrible show host, so I didn't yet. But I'm going to put your YouTube channel into the description of this video, and I'll put it into the live chat as well. So you should go over if you like having. I've been listening in while I was doing other things. If you like just having a good time, he's got an interesting show, and it's not about the normal topics in conspiracy land, and he's funny, and it's an enjoyable show. I recommend.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
So I got your link. I'm going to put it in our live chat and in the description of this video.
Like this one. Like this. This is just from hours ago.
Okay, here, Will. Let's put that up here.
Florida man, unhappy with change he got at convenience store, returns with $5, robs cashier of $8,000. This
is crazy. Yeah.
How about that for you? Just pissed off about it. So not only did this Florida man get pissed off, he convinced 5 of his Florida man buddies to collude with him to go and rob this, to commit grand theft. And it's that's kind of, on a scale of 1 to 10, that's probably a 5. That's
it gets crazier, doesn't it?
It gets crazier because I'm not reading meth. There's not a, you know, the cashier
there's a lot of Florida man meth stories.
Yeah, man. The cashier didn't get raped. Yeah, it could have gone way. There wasn't a machete or a shark involved. Usually, those 2 things. If I see machete and shark, I know it's going to be a good one. Something's up there. But then also there was this one too.
Okay, 1 second. I'm putting your channel into the live chat. I just did that. Let me get rid of that one. You got another one?
Yeah, one more. This one was a. Oh no! Wait a minute. Is that the same one?
Oh, that's the same one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, wait a minute.
You can go present, stop screen.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that.
Stop sharing. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, and then present. Got it.
And in the meantime, here I'm gonna put your link to his channel will be in the description of the video. And let's put this up on the screen. Florida man arrested for allegedly wandering around car dealership with a rifle.
How about that?
That's so weird. Like, I'm buying a car, God damn it, I got a gun.
What's fucking weird about that, man? You don't.
So weird.
You don't go out shopping with your rifle. Just
no.
Yeah, and then wander. You don't wander with it, openly brandishing it.
You know, what's funny is I like guns, but I went to a gun show with a friend, and even I was like, wow, these people are crazy.
Yeah, man.
They are really.
Yeah, man. I've gone to one down here. Yeah. Man.
They're all like, and I love talking about the penetration. You know, I heard some comedian talk about that once, you know. I think Bill Burr, he was like, yeah, you got to get a shotgun because you got to have the penetration. When you're firing at an attacker, you want the penetration. The penetration That's what these guys were all talking about, like how to kill people for the whole. Well, this one's okay, but there's a lot of sex ones, isn't there?
Oh man, yeah.
We'll get this one off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, let's do this one.
I put your channel into the description of the video so people can go and subscribe to your channel over there.
Okay.
See if we can help you get to the 1,000 so that you can take donations with or without cancer.
Yeah, right. I would, you know what? Man, it sounds corny every time I say it, so I ain't even gonna say it. But anyway, there's another one. Man, if I got 1,000 people just to subscribe and laugh, that's all. Dude, that would be my fucking dream. Is just make people laugh. That many people, shit.
Well, we got 100 and something people here, so maybe you'll get a little bump tonight.
Hey,
yeah, I remember it's tough. That 500 to 1,000 seems like it took me a year. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely takes.
So Florida man told police officer to call the FBI because he's allowed to carry meth. That's great. I think I read this story. They tried to arrest him, and he was like, "No, you can't arrest me. Get the FBI here. I'm allowed to carry meth."
That's right.
These meth heads in Florida.
He said that he had a medical license for it, and when they checked the medical license, it was his library card. So somewhere along the line, he figured out that was a multifunctional card.
A library card lets you do meth legally?
You never quite know down here. You could get lucky and be in a county that's flimsy on its meth laws. You know? You never know.
You know what? I'm always I do a lot of hiking around my cabin, and there's a lot of old beat up trailers in the middle of the woods somewhere, or like old like falling apart cabins that Right. And I'm always like, when I come upon a new one, I'm always like, is this a meth lab? Because there is meth labs off in the woods. They're guys in trailers, and you can smell it. Usually they get busted pretty quickly because you could smell it miles away.
Yeah,
it smells like chemical plant.
There's legit rumors of people getting meth highs just from riding through towns with their windows down. I mean,
I guess it gets in the air, right?
Yeah. I guess so. The labs, they're usually in a trailer, like you're talking about, and they just kind of they just pump it out the top, So I guess there's a distinct smell. I don't know. I've never done meth, but
No, I survived 20 years in rock bands without any real bad drug problems. And that's because I stayed all natural. And I heard you were in that scene. Like when you go to a show, especially if you bring, at least this is how it worked in the Philadelphia area and the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware. If you were a band that had a draw, in other words, if some of these music venues, even if you had like 100, 150 people show up to see your band, they treated you like kings because they knew that people are going to be drinking $8 beers all night long, 100, 150 people, and they were going to make thousands of dollars. They used to just give you drugs. They used to just, what do you want? I used to always make the mistake, Gigi, though. I would always give the drugs to the drummer, which is a bad idea.
Real bad idea.
You get to the stage and you're like, Jesus Christ, he's playing the song twice as fast as it's supposed to be. And I'm trying to sing to it,
And he's the first one that everybody gets pissed off at the end of the show, What the fuck, man? It's always the drummer. It's always the drummer's fault, even if you get them fucked up.
Oh man, I had some funny drummers, and one of them I got pissed off at one time, and I go, I can go to the mall and replace you for $99. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I showed him a Guitar Center ad for a drum machine, Like you can't replace the rest of them that quickly or easily, but you can definitely replace that. Oh, we got another one here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this
wait,
one is
no,
called
wait a
the
minute.
Carry Meth.
That's the
Yeah,
same
that's
one?
the same one. Yeah. I was going to
Son of
find
a
this.
bitch.
Trying to find this Twitter page. There was a Twitter page that's famous for these Florida man stories, and we could just look at
Yeah.
some of them. Where the hell did I put that? I don't know. Maybe it's in the wiki page. I'll find it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, no worries, man. Let's see it here. Yeah, I always loved playing up in the Northeast, man. You guys had an awesome punk rock hardcore scene up there, especially in Jersey and Philly, Pittsburgh. Man, those places were awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I don't miss being in bands, but I miss this. You know what it was like though. It was like 12 hours of standing around waiting and 1 hour
Longer
of
than
actual
that.
fun, or 8 hours driving somewhere, and then
Yeah.
5 hours waiting, and then But I wouldn't change it for anything because I get to see a lot of places, but unfortunately, you only see like the venue. You mean to, but you don't
Yeah.
really. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go look. Once in a while, we would go and like, okay, let's see the local sites or something like that.
Yeah, or we try to skate, but usually that always ended up to being in a real bad part of town that you didn't know was bad. And it's like you just
Yeah.
go wandering, urban wandering.
Oh, I
in
found
some
the
unknown
Florida.
city.
I found this Florida man Twitter, and I know from before from looking at this. I've looked at this before. He's got like all of these. He stopped doing it though,
Wonderful.
for some reason. But here's one where somebody's like, this just things that happen in Florida. Like, this is crazy. It's just a guy going down the highway backwards.
That's the interstate.
Backwards. Yeah.
In pink pants.
In hot pants, yeah. He's in hot pants. Florida man firebombs garage that impounded his car, hits his own vehicle. Great. Florida man, here's where I said there's only sex ones. Florida man accused of masturbating in front of children says he was just adjusting his hernia.
It's hernia, man. That's all. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, God, Florida man steals $33,000 worth of rare coins, cashes them in a coin store for $29.
He needed just a couple rocks. That's it.
Yeah. I used to live someplace in a bad neighborhood and everything was $10. Do you know why? Because that's what crack cost. So people would steal all kinds of stuff. And you're like, yo, you need an air conditioner? $10. Yo, you need a VCR? $10. Yo, you want a PlayStation? $10. Whatever they were selling, it was always $10.
Everything's $10. That's a good economy, man.
I furnished my whole apartment. I'm like, go get me a couch. Somebody really got me a couch.
Why not?
Somebody got me a couch.
You tested the economy's waters, man. That's all.
This is great. Florida man. Security camera catches Florida man licking doorbell. Who would do that? It's so bizarre.
Florida man does, and he does it quite regularly. Especially now that there's little ring cams, man. They're
why would he lick it though? Why would he lick it? That's so weird.
Why not? Why not lick it is the question you should ask.
Here's another one that shows you how stupid our government is. Florida man who earns $18,000 a year convinces IRS to give him $1 million tax refund.
Ooh, that's some good math.
Oh, this is where they get sick. This is sickening, man.
Oh,
Florida man in a dog costume arrested for having sex with a dog.
Oh, man. What?
Animal abuse, man.
Yeah.
This dude looks like a dog banger, though. Look at him. He looks like a dog banger, this dude. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Am I not sharing?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No.
I got lost here.
So did I. I'm just listening. They're fucking dying.
Yeah. Here, it's Florida man in a dog costume arrested for sex with a dog. That dude looks like a dog banger.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, are you gonna? Do you think anybody gave him? Do you think anybody hassled him afterwards? like, or is it that adage where you
have to like to be the cop?
You
That's
fuck
like
one dog, you're a dog.
Imagine some cops are dog lovers, but not like this guy.
Yeah, maybe
dog
maybe
lover? He's a
he
dog
liked
lover.
getting the canines.
That was his defense in court. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm a dog lover. Like literally.
God. Come on.
Florida man steals opioids from
Yes.
lockbox and just kidding, they're actually
laxatives. I remember that story. It fucked him up, man. Like it almost killed him. It wasn't a joke. He was trying to take over like 220 milligrams worth of OxyContin, which is like you got to have the constitution of a goddamn Clydesdale. And so he took like 50 of these maximum strength laxatives, and it put him in the hospital. I mean, he was shitting out his colon. It was pretty bad.
Wow. This one, Florida man drives Ferrari off the dock and into the sea.
Oh,
Florida man says Jesus told him to drive Ferrari off the pier.
That was for insurance purposes.
Wait a minute. Says,
act of God. I don't know.
My joke from 2013 just manifested into reality. Florida man tells neighbors he's going to kill them with kindness. Then he tries to kill them with a machete he named kindness. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a fun, weird conspiracy rabbit hole because it just gets stranger and stranger. GoFundMe forced to hand out refunds after Florida man breaks promise to build a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. Here's one. Florida man says syringes in his anus are not his.
They weren't. Classic mistake.
That looks like a dude that would have syringes in his anus.
Yeah, he thinks he's pulling one over. Look at that shit-eating grin he's got. He's taking a piss down our throats.
This one, and I love the bizarreness and randomness of some of these stories, and there's so many of them. Like, Florida woman chases parents with a 12-inch knife because they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse.
She wanted one night.
She wanted that onion bread. She wanted that good onion bread.
Yeah, the blooming onions are to die for, motherfuckers.
And here we go. Wild monkeys with killer herpes on the rise in Florida. What the hell? Now you gotta worry about killer monkeys with monkeys with killer herpes.
They'll kiss the shit out of you. Next thing you know, they're blowing you.
Florida guards let Florida man vape in prison because he helped them with their taxes. Okay.
Tit for tat. All right.
Yeah, and Florida man tries to steal $500,000 worth of tequila on New Year's Eve.
He didn't think anybody would notice.
That's
See, man,
a lot of tequila.
I bet you it's Miami. See, Miami has like, you know that Stephen King story, The Dome? It's like,
yeah,
that's Miami, dude. As soon as you enter like a 50-mile radius of Miami, it turns into like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, dude. It's like you're fucking Tommy Vercetti, who just come down from New York to hide from the mafia. Everything is, all rules of physics are just upside down and backwards, and that's
I've been to Florida several times, and I had a good time every time I went. In fact, my wife and I, our favorite place probably in the world is a place called Singer Island. It's just off of West Palm Beach. It's not where the rich people go; it's where the working class people go on vacation. You know, it's like
I know that area.
Beautiful place, and they have this place called Peanut Island that has incredible snorkeling and you know, a coral reef, and that Kennedy bomb shelter is there. We saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that place.
There's some really cool places, man. It's like you're walking through a Russian minefield. You're not quite sure which one is gonna explode your leg off, or which one's just gonna be cool and nice to you.
This guy tried to pay for McDonald's with weed.
Have it your way.
No, I think that's Burger King.
No, is that Burger King?
Yeah.
I fucked it.
You know how I know that? I once got in an argument at Burger King with somebody because I didn't want the barbecue sauce. I don't like barbecue sauce, and I wanted the burger.
I thought you were gonna say
some kind of burger, and it had like I don't know, like bacon and something, smokehouse bacon on it, and barbecue sauce. I'm like, I don't want the barbecue sauce. They're like, nope, it comes with the barbecue sauce.
The one that's got onion rings?
Yeah. And I'm like, your slogan is have it your way. Like, I don't want the barbecue sauce. They're like, no, it comes with it, sir.
It comes that way, like, dude.
Okay.
How does it come that way when they have to be the one that applies the pressure to the bottle that squirts it on your patty?
Fun that I could see Florida men doing. Drunk Florida man drags trailer down the highway while hauling lemur, tortoise, parrot, goat, and wallaby. What the hell are you?
A fucking wallaby.
This is so stupid.
He's risking like 5 exotic rare animals' lives in one fell Florida man's swoop.
This is 3 Sonic drive-in employees accused of lacing kids' meal with ecstasy.
Oh,
Jesus.
Hey now.
Florida man caught shoplifting during Cole's job interview.
Well, that's time.
Yo, if you want to get a job, it's probably a bad idea to start stealing from the place during the job interview.
I think you're right. Maybe he was dressing up for the interview, man.
What is it like? He was having a job interview and the manager was walking around the store, like showing him stuff. And while the manager's talking, he's like filling his pockets with Cole's shit. It's so funny, man.
Fucking stealing. What the hell? I don't even know what I could try to steal at Cole's, man. It's not like you can put this
one's just weird. Florida man spends hours outside a Christmas festival yelling at kids about how Santa isn't real.
That was important as shit. That was his Vietnam, man.
Florida, I'm not a morning person, so I might be this guy too. Myself, Florida student arrested for threatening to kill a professor over 7 a.m. exam. Like, I ain't getting up early, bitch. I'm gonna stab you.
Fuck you, man.
Florida man bursts through wall with pants around his ankles as he attempts to rob a Hyundai dealership. Look at that. He's got to pull his pants up.
He's in no hurry.
I don't know. Oh, there's no sound, but
he's in no hurry, man. Either.
Let's play this from the beginning. Fair use. It's
got to be alcohol. Oh, that's alcohol, man. You know it. That's that rage.
What can you steal from a Hyundai deal? Oh, look, his pants around his ankles.
Look at, he's having a bitch of a time. He's got flip-flops on, dude. And he ran through a wall. I gotta give him some props. Damn. Inside job. I'm calling that an inside job, man.
That is a Florida man.
Somebody told him that was a weak, that was a false wall or some shit. Someone clued him in. Get some accessories for your Hyundai.
Oh, boy. Florida man denies masturbating on beach, says he was airing out his penis.
Sometimes. Look,
sometimes you gotta, I agree. Sometimes you just gotta air out the jewels, man. You gotta put them out there.
But you gotta watch out for kids, man. You can't
Did you ever have any guy friends with like bizarre like theories on how to get laid? I had this guy friend.
Of course.
I had this guy friend, and I swear to God, he did this. He would be on a date or whatever, be alone. As soon as he got the girl alone, he would pull his dick out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, I do it all the time. I'm like, you do that to women all the time? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why would you do that? He goes, if you pull your cock out and she doesn't run, she wants to bang you. That was his theory. Okay. So he aired them out all the time,
I think that'd be a real quick way for me to be on the sexual predator list. I don't know, man. I
think he had another theory though that I agreed with, which was he would ask women if he could see their breasts, and if they took them out, it was a 99% certainty that he could bang them. And I agree with that one. If you ask a woman to see her breast and she pulls them out, you probably could
You're
bang her.
asking, but you're asking. So
Yeah, and yeah, he would say, "Oh, I asked real nice though."
yeah, you got it. Depends on how bad you want to see him. Is the level of niceness. I had a buddy of mine,
just
man.
airing out his balls, man.
I had a buddy
Florida
of mine.
mayor stopped a city council meeting to accuse a female commissioner of getting her anus bleached.
Yummy. It must have been a brown eye, dude. It must have been real rusty. Real rusty. But I had a buddy of mine who would, if he had sex with a girl, he would call them a cab afterwards, and he would tell them on the phone to take them to Plant City. I don't even know where that is. And he said, and do not listen to them when they try to tell you they don't live in Plant City. She's fucking with you. And all this stuff. So I had a friend of mine who used to do that. He used to just send girls to random towns. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of mean, dude.
And he was a Florida guy too. He was a legit Florida man.
Look at this one. A Florida man has admitted to having sex with a male pony.
Oh, man.
Yo, how do you live after that if your mugshot is on the internet for banging a little horse?
The Shetland pony. No, that's a...
Oh, my God, it gets better. Listen. Sardo told deputies he used a condom each of the 4 times he had sex with a miniature horse who goes by the name Jackie G because he didn't want to get a disease. At least he had safe sex while he was banging a little pony.
Like the little pony is the one that's unclean in this exchange, right?
So stupid. Florida man removes woman kidney during back surgery because he thought it was a tumor. It's not a tumor. Oh, that one's scary, right?
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me because I've had 3/4 of mine cut out, and that wasn't no fun, man. Woo! Especially just digging around back there, letting some Florida man do it.
Jesus. Florida man tries to steal a car from jail parking lot moments after being released for car theft. Well, he didn't want to walk home. This one makes sense.
It's bullshit that he had to walk home.
Yeah.
So I understand. I get it.
I once picked up a friend at jail, and he said that to me. He was like, "Man, I thought you were never going to come. I thought I was going to have to steal a car to get home." and I was like, "You just got out, dude. Like, behave for at least until your next court date. Like, at least behave."
I know. Wait till after pre-trial, man. You know, damn.
Florida man says he masturbated in public with a napkin on his face because he was curious to see what it would be like.
Aren't you? Isn't everybody?
Now this has got to have some alcohol involved in it. Florida man breaks into a restaurant, strips naked, and then eats noodles he brought from home, and plays bongos. That's what I'm saying.
That was just a Monday night, dude. You should see what a Friday. he's
a drunk Florida woman was asked to leave a Red Lobster, so she responded by allegedly grabbing a live lobster right out of the tank and bolting.
Well,
she came there to eat lobster. They're not throwing her out without.
She did accomplish her mission.
Oh, here's one.
There are Florida girls.
Stupid Florida people. Look at this.
Oh. Look how quick his whole yard went up, man. Watch this.
Well, he threw the whole can.
Oh my God. 1, 2,
this
3.
is Florida, man.
In less than 24 seconds, he burnt his whole backyard down. Wow.
I don't know why, but this guy stopped posting. I think he should keep it up, or you should do this now for him.
Yeah, I need to get on that.
Hollywood man accused of having 69 grams of ketamine. I don't know much about ketamine, but that's a lot of ketamine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Commonly used for anesthesia.
Yeah, it's a cat tranquilizer, buddy.
It's a horse tranquilizer, I thought.
Maybe both. But
Yeah.
I know it from veterinary.
I never did it, but I had a neighbor who used to do it, and then he used to beat his girlfriend.
I never did it either, but yeah,
And
Special K, right?
he would blame, yeah, Special K, and he would blame the ketamine. He would tell her, "I don't even remember hitting you." He would like terrible guy.
Yeah, I'd say.
Here we go.
Look at that.
This guy looks like a
tell.
winner. Shirtless Florida man kicks open doors as he goes house to house looking for someone to fight. He's gonna get shot. You guys have stand your ground and good gun laws in Florida. I would have shot him if he kicked my door in.
Really? You wouldn't have put your dukes up and just automatically start fist fighting?
I would have laughed at him and shot him.
I guess I've lived here too long, man. I'll just get up and start fucking like two pugilists.
This guy threw a sex toy into the field at last night's Buffalo Bills game.
Fuck them Bills. All right. That's up by you guys. No, you're probably a Steelers fan, right? Huh?
Well, I would be a hometown guy, so I'd be
a Philly?
Eagles fan and Phillies fan. Yeah, the Phillies are in the World Series right now. My wife is watching it right now. I'm not a sports guy though.
Me neither. This is go Phillies.
Yeah, my situation is like reversed. My wife makes fun of me because she puts on like a hockey game or a football game, and I'm like, "Oh, can't we just watch a movie?" She's like, "You're like a woman, dude. No, we're watching the game." And I go, "Okay." But usually there's like good food when she does this, so I'm like, I'll just eat the wings and sit here. I don't give a shit about the football game, but these wings are delicious that you made. Thank you.
That's a bonus, dude. See, I like Detroit teams because that's where I'm from, so I don't ever get excited because every Detroit team pretty much sucks. So we don't get too excited around these parts. Now
live explosive device sent to CNN. It was sent from Florida. Justin Bieber continues to dress like he's auditioning for the Florida Man biopic. Look, he's got a mullet in this shot too.
Orlando's his hometown, man. That's his town.
This is great. Florida man says he's allowed to grope women on a flight because of a presidential decree.
Who gave him that decree?
Donald Trump, probably. He's Trump? The in chief. Yeah.
Trump or Clinton? Oh, God.
Whoa, this was great. A guy from Florida flew to another state to chop off a love rival's penis.
He was tired of hearing about it.
So this is not like a conspiracy. Like, these stories are out there.
They are.
Florida man says he knew meeting with a 14-year-old was undercover sexting. Claims he showed up because he thought it'd be cool to see one in action. Oh, that's a good excuse.
Okay, so that's just like that's like going and meeting Chris. Look, I just wanted to meet Chris Hansen. Like I wasn't here to. I
wasn't going to bang that 12-year-old girl. I just wanted to meet Chris Hansen.
Yeah, just wanted to.
I loved that To Catch a Predator.
Oh man,
what's funny is now he's a clickbait YouTuber.
Yeah, and it's kind of boring now because the last thing he did is they'd bring him into like a hotel room. And then they would have the guy come in the hotel room and they'd sit on a bed and they'd talk to him. And it just wasn't the same, man. Wasn't the same. And old Chris Hansen just isn't the same as young Chris Hansen, man. He had balls of steel then, man. He was funny as shit.
Don't you think it would be so awkward to have to talk to so many pedos? And like, that's your job. You got to be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what are you here for? I love it. I love that show. Like, what do you got there? Condoms and beer for a 12-year-old girl?
Yeah, is all that for you? Yeah, I just wanted a place to drink. All that? What'd you bring? 6-pack of Mike's, 6-pack of Bud. It's like a 12-pack. You just get a drink. Well, why didn't you drink at home? Well, my daughter and her friends at home. What? How old's your daughter? 14. The same age as the girl you're coming to drink with, right? I mean, that is verbatim an episode. I watch it that much. And that's from Florida, Flagler County. Woo-hoo. Woo-woo. Flagler County is a good that's a busy place. There's a college town, man. St. Augustine and stuff is there, and there's it's just Jacksonville, Florida is another hugely it's huge, and it's alone, and but it's one of the worst places. Kind of like, I mean, per capita, like crime per capita, like with Miami. Tampa's pretty busted too. Tampa, that's where I'm just right down the road from Mr. Tampa. In Tampa.
Sorry about that. I don't know.
I'm glad you came back because I was running out of Tampa talk. No.
I'm doing it for my own stream. I think, yeah, every time this happens, though, I'll tell you what, I go around the house after that happens, and I find like 18 devices all on streaming HD video. So,
yep.
You know, they've got like 6 TVs, 3 tablets, a video game, all this stuff going at once, you know.
When I
run around like the Wi-Fi police sometimes before a show and turn everything off. You know?
Man, I'll turn their shit off by 2 a.m. just in case one of them wants to get up, and because I have 2 teenagers and a 9-year-old, and of course they're connected. They're connected to every damn thing, you know, when they come over here, and it's Jesus, they kill my internet.
Florida man prints counterfeit money on library computer using template from Pinterest. Posts for sale ad on Facebook. Like, hi, I'm selling $100 fake bills for $50. You know?
He got them from Pinterest. It's great.
Do not warm urine. They don't want anybody warming urine. They must be near a drug testing facility.
Yeah, don't do that. You don't want to do that. I think it would render it useless. But maybe that's the point. I don't know.
Florida man bites a dog to establish dominance.
See, there's a lot of that's Miami. I would bet you my left testicle that's Miami. That's like the dog fighting capital of the world. Besides maybe Atlanta, which is true.
Really? There's a lot of that in Philly. There's
cockfighting.
There's cockfighting and there's pit bull fighting. I was aware. Yep. I never went, but I knew people who did, and I knew where they were in Philly. You could go and see this stuff. You know? Look at this. Her, come over. Me, I can't. I'm at the lake. Her, we're listening to Jimmy Buffett. Well, how the hell is that thing moving?
I have no clue how that's possible. No, they must have modified it. Yeah, they modified it. All right. That's still pretty Florida man, though. You got to admit.
Florida man seen riding naked bicycle down I-95. This guy's naked. That's gross.
See, that's another thing with this place, man.
It looks like hot. The same guy that was in the hot pants. Right?
It's got to be the same dude. Now, he's riding down the interstate too, man. That's against the law. You can't ride a bike down the interstate.
We had some guy that stopped traffic in Philadelphia because he was going down the Schuylkill Expressway. I swear to God, on a big wheel. And he was like a little dude, so he fit on the big wheel. He was like 4'11" or something.
Like one of the old school.
Yeah, like a kid's plastic big wheel. He was going down the highway on a big wheel. And there's a lot of hills on the Schuylkill, so he was just Florida man travels to South Carolina to fight Hurricane Florence. He wanted to fight it.
Now, I remember him in Florida. I remember him. Look at him, and he does it to a Slayer's Rain and Blood.
Couple arrested for performing sex act on Fort Myers sidewalk at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. People say romance is dead.
Yeah, afternoon delight right there, man.
Look at them two. I don't want to see them two bang. That's gross.
Come on.
You're going to bang in public, at least be attractive. Please.
Everybody does, whether you want to or not, apparently. Oh, look at
Florida man attacks neighbor with a chainsaw during dispute over shrubbery.
Damn right. That
the neighbor reportedly hugged a shrub in an attempt to keep it from being cut down, but Landiker continued trimming anyway.
I got that judge from some bitch down there in Florida. That's him, man. That's my boy, Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, yeah. This guy saying, "God bless Joe Exotic."
I saw Tiger.
I think that whole story was funny, especially how he would hire somebody else to sing the country songs, and he would just stand there and lip sync.
Yeah,
and then nobody knew that
guitar.
he wasn't singing it right. Florida man answers door naked after setting fire to home trying to bake cookies. Two priests seen having middle of the day car sex on Miami beachfront.
See what I mean?
Jesus Christ, this is getting worse and worse.
I'm telling you, Miami, you've just flipped the script, man. Upside down. Two priests.
This guy got arrested for giving his girlfriend a wet willy. I do that to one of my sons once in a while, and he gets so pissed off. He's like, "It's so gross, Dad. Don't do it."
How did he get arrested? Did he go deep? How deep did he go, man? Did he hit? Yeah. Did he hit blood?
He was sentenced to 2 purple nurples and an Indian burn. Police say Florida man installed drug drive-through window on the side of mobile home. Well, that's smart. Why make people get out of their cars, right? Just hand them the meth through the window and get your money, right?
Damn right.
So do you have some insight though into why there's so many of these stories? Because I did find some information on why maybe there's so many of these stories out of Florida, and they're not out of other states. There just aren't.
No. There's a lot. There's a couple reasons, man. A lot of it is just hurricanes are a big problem, man. And a lot of the worst Florida man news comes out after a hurricane or just before, because everybody just loses their minds. And because for a week to a week and a half, you're watching this continent-sized motherfucker coming at you, and it could miss you, it could destroy your house, but then your neighbors is perfectly fine. It's just a weird. It reduces you to a third world country in like hours, right?
This one is so gross. Florida man posts a video documenting 6 months worth of farts at work. Is fired immediately.
Why? Why was he fired?
Yeah, come on.
How many times does the average person see? He's got a case. I would
get a lawyer. Yeah,
I'd get with OSHA.
It's my freedom of fart. Freedom of speech. I have a constitutional freedom of farting, you know?
There's some average out there. There's some percentage that somebody had made up that how many times a person farts at work daily. And look, you're allowed how many? Oh, well, 6. Yeah, you're going to fight. If you work there for 6 months, how many farts in a day? Maybe you have a bad day. Maybe you farted
Maybe 10 times for lunch every day and really get at it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I hate it working. I hate it working in an office though, because in those little cubicles, somebody rips one,
Yeah, and
I always sat next to some like crusty old lady that like had bad gas, all day, and I'm in the freaking box next to her. It's great.
Yep. But if he looked like Brad Pitt, it'd probably be okay. But look at him. He looks like
so funny?
An invasive farter.
I once sat next to this old woman, and it smelled like shit all day. It smelled like, not immediately. Like you'd get there in the morning, you wouldn't start smelling. A couple hours later, it smells like shit. And I'm like, what smells like shit in here? This is ridiculous. Apparently, she was wearing Depends, and she wouldn't get up and change. She would just sit there.
She was a hard worker.
Oh, that's so gross, man.
Give her
and you go like, wait a minute, like I have to sit next to this woman? You can't move her somewhere else?
You can't make me.
Can you put her somewhere else while she's shitting her pants 4 or 5 times a day? That's gross.
Sit her outside, man.
Yeah.
Move her cubicle outside.
Yeah, and then I remember Human Resources called me and told me to just have patience with her. I'm like, patience? I shouldn't have to smell shit all day.
What? Have
This is
patience.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Oh
this is
my God.
ridiculous.
Have
Eventually, she got
patience.
fired for something else, so I was happy.
Something else.
Yeah,
Wonder
not.
what?
They
What
didn't
could that have
fire her for
been?
shitting. Like, imagine that. They just let her shit herself all day,
Did she
and you know
shoot?
those cubicles, you're all packed together like
Yeah.
sardines in these cubicles, and like she's right next to me, and once in a while I could hear her shitting herself, and I was just, oh,
Oh
this is so
no,
gross.
man.
That's
And,
corporate
and
abuse. Yeah.
yeah, it is on a whole nother scale, buddy. I'd have asked for a pay raise at least.
So you know what I found, what I found about these stories is two things, Gigi. I found that there's different laws in Florida
Yes.
that mean that all the police records are instantly open to members of the media. So
Yes.
this could explain that's not like that in other states. But apparently, as soon as somebody is arrested, the mugshots, whatever, it's instantly available to all the journalists.
Right.
They can make a request and get any records they want, including mugshots. That's one of the reasons there's so many of these stories.
And they would do that in schools to scare us from meth. They would just show you. They'd show you like a first meth user's wanted poster. Then it'd show you over like 5 years and how they don't even look like what was that?
It says I'm in a trailer park.
Is that really douche nozzle?
No, I think it's somebody trolling him.
That's good.
But he's good at it, whoever he is, because
Yeah.
I hear that earlier he was in Goofon's chat telling everybody this is recorded. I'm not really live, and he got all pissed off.
That's a good one. It's a good
Yeah,
one.
so that law in Florida,
That
it's called an open records law.
Yeah,
that might make
it does, and you can.
Because I thought I was crazy. I'm like, no, maybe if you just Google any state, you get all these. No, try it. You don't get all these crazy, especially all the sex weird stuff. People banging on the sidewalk and masturbating and pulling their cocks out.
Speaking of that, there is a town that is just north of where I'm at somewhere, and it is a town of just sex offenders that all live in this community.
Jesus Christ!
I think it's called Sunrise, Florida.
Don't take your kids there.
And it's an epidemic here, man. It is a big epidemic. Child trafficking, just all sorts of sexual deviancy that you can't even imagine. I mean, worse than even just like the ones that you read with like a dude with a dog. Like I said, that's pretty tame. I mean, Shetland ponies, that's pretty tame. At least he used a condom. I'm surprised that it wasn't worse. But
the fact that he would go, oh, I don't want to get a disease while I'm banging this horse. So I better be safe. If you're going to bang a horse, you better be safe about it. Put on a condom, Yeah, I remember being like 14 and hormones out the wazoo, but the thought of banging a non-human never entered my mind. I would just crank it out 17 times,
Yeah, that seemed a lot easier. That seemed
How
a lot
about
easier.
These guys that get caught in the middle of doing that, though? Like, how?
Yeah, who tells them? And did somebody have a suspicion?
Yeah. Like he's in there banging them horses.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time in there. He's just supposed to clean the stalls and get out. That's a 5-minute job. Why are you in there for an hour?
Finally, we get some truth from Goofon. Steven, I owe you an apology. I'm nothing. My show sucks and my penis is tiny.
Oh.
That really is him then.
I guess he pulled the truth card on himself.
Oh, no. What's interesting is now he's saying we're all going to have to apologize that we're involved in this documentary project because he's going to prove that Third Phase didn't fake that one hoax. But I'm here to here's what happened. I think third phase of Moon is going to give him two different addresses and say, see, it's not the same house. And I'm sorry, I don't trust them one bit. So unless I get the addresses and check that those are not, and by the way, that's just one data point in the debunk. There's 10 data points in the debunk. So just maybe we got something wrong and they're not exactly the same location, but that hoax was done through a sheet of glass. It is a Pepper's ghost illusion. I did them myself. I showed it to I showed it to 3 or 4 different magician friends of mine, and they all looked at it and said, "That's Pepper's ghost. That's not a real object in the sky." And the real proof that that was not a real object in the sky is this huge lit up UFO in Los Angeles. They said it was in the sky for 10 minutes. I checked, not one report of a UFO that day and time in Los Angeles. Period. Not one. Therefore, it was not a real object in the sky, and yes, they purposely hoaxed it. And I love how he thinks that I somehow have to apologize to him. Like, this guy's calling my wife ugly, making fun of my dead father, making fun of my paralyzed eye, and calling me, saying I have pedo friends with no evidence of that. But I owe him an apology.
Yeah,
it's great.
Well, he's impossible. I mean, this guy's got a track record. This is his MO. This is what he does. He makes enemies, and then, but I didn't do anything wrong. He's that guy. I didn't do it.
And now he's saying that he's getting shadow banned.
Yeah, shadow banned. Who cares?
I love the people who claim the shadow ban. I'm sure that does really happen on Twitter and some places. But yeah, come on, man.
Somehow prove it to me, and nobody gives a shit about him to shadow ban him. Nobody cares. It is half the time he's fighting the focus on his camera. You think somebody cares about what he's even got going on there? To shadow ban him? Well, that's the reason.
Yeah. No, could you imagine that meeting, like the Men in Black and the CIA all get together?
Yeah.
They're like, listen, look, this guy's showing people UFO photos that are really dome cameras, and he's showing people fake. He's using a laser pointer to fake spirit orbs. We got to shadow ban him.
That was my vape pen. It was my vape pen. I put my vape pen down that shoots lights. Why does your vape pen and laser pointer combined?
So stupid. So but here's the thing though. He has to basically say, no, it's not a laser pointer, Gigi. That's a real spirit orb that appeared during a live stream. Right when I had what appears to be a laser pointer in my hand, sat down and got worried and put it under the desk. Right?
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
It's very, very convenient.
Yeah, you know what's funny too in that debunk with the Pepper's ghost illusion is that somebody showed that if you take a still from the video and you put it through one simple filter, you can see the reflections and the edges of the glass in the image. So he's got to battle with science now and deny actual forensic image analysis science to say they didn't hoax it. I think he just butthurt because,
Why focus on just that one? Why focus on
because third phase is telling him that they can prove that those are two different locations or something, and there's no glass. They whisper in his ear, and he's so dumb that he just goes, "Oh, you."
But what about all the other ones? What about?
I know that's why I said I'm not apologizing. You got 40 or 50 of them that you got to prove, and they admitted on Alien Addict Show that they committed fraud. It's called theft by deception. They put up videos that they themselves made with CGI or whatever that were spaceships,
Star Wars
aliens,
pieces,
cryptid Star Wars pieces, and they wanted to see what people's reactions are. But through way back, we have all the titles at least. Even if we can't get the original videos, we have all the titles, and they were all clickbait, alien sighting, And I think it's great that he's defending people that used a 4-year-old child to defraud the public and YouTube out of ad revenue. Like I'll stand by what I said. That's a Father of the Year award. I think Gigi, that their son, it was take your son to work day, right? So they sat down and were like, all right, me and your uncle, what we do is we fake alien and UFO this is our job. We fake alien and UFO videos for money. And we put them on YouTube and pretend they're not fake, son. So stand here and pretend you see an alien when we tell you. They filmed it, they put a CGI alien in, and they put a clickbait title saying that it was a real alien encounter in the woods.
And what
that
little kid
is
wouldn't?
Fraud. That is
Right.
fraud.
And what kind of little kid who would say no to their dad about that? That sounds like.
And then they were all
something fun to
pissed
their
off.
dad,
They
right?
were all pissed off because the Sapiens Culture, who made that first film, he put that in the film that they used a 4-year-old to defraud the public. I think that's relevant if you're doing an expose on here's how they're defrauding the public. It's relevant that they would use a child, and he's defending.
It shows
that.
You the level. It shows you
tell
the
he
level
doesn't have children, because anybody that has children that sees that says that is too much. Don't involve your children in your crimes.
Yeah,
you know,
true. That's
so stupid. But back to the Florida man. So there's these laws. Is it really that simple? There's open records laws in Florida.
Yeah,
it's really that simple. That's why there's so many stories about crazy Florida men.
That, and also just that Florida is a very inviting place. Like you like Peanut Island and that area over there, and over by West Palm Beach. Everybody likes to come here, and some people think that the vacation won't end, and and then they bring along their problems from whatever states they come from. Usually it's from it's from everywhere, but usually from your colder places, where somebody just wants to get out of the cold, or just even to come down. A lot of problems are snowbirds that just come down for this, their winters and then go back for our summers. So along with that, they bring all their problems, Yeah,
that's interesting, because where I have my cabin is really bad winters. It's like 5-6 months of winter and snow. It's like from right now until April, or maybe even May sometimes, there will be snow on the ground. And all those people, the older ones, are all saving money to get the hell out of there and go to Florida.
Yep.
And they earned it. If you go through a lot of winters up there, you earned a Florida home after that. It's tough. Isn't that funny, though? Like, I have a friend that lives in Texas, and all these California people are moving there. And he tells them, like, you moved here because of the way it is here. Don't mess it up with your California nonsense.
That's a big state too, man. That's another, Texas man. I wonder, I never looked him up, but I would think that might have something to it because it's so big. But yeah, I think a lot of it just is, and it used to be that you can move down here for anonymity as well, or to escape kind of crimes that you would have to be, what do they call that? Where they have to take you back to the state that you committed the crime in. So
extradited.
Yeah, extradited. So, Florida had weird extradition laws where they would take, either they wouldn't arrest you or hold you or something like that, but they had loose extradition laws. So you could come down here to escape. Maybe you're having some mob trouble up in New York City.
Yeah.
So maybe you wanted to move it down here and lie low from the heat up there.
Well, it'd be a good place to hang out for a while, that's for sure. But every time I've been there, I always think the same thing. I love this place, but I wouldn't want to live there. It's just too hot and humid. And and then people think it must be cheaper to live. When you live in a climate like me, we have to pay like $1,000 a month or more for heating oil or whatever. So people think it's cheaper. But really, you're going to have a $500 a month electric bill every single month because you're blasting the air conditioner to not die from the heat, right?
Yeah. And you have to have air conditioning. There's just no way around it. You have to. And I just had mine added on.
Yeah, I saw that. You had your whole ducts all removed and replaced and everything, right?
Yep. 35 years worth of duct work all taken out.
Wow, so you have like a whole house there.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah.
What, you're not living in a trailer in your mom's backyard?
No, I don't. No, man.
You hermit, you?
I'm a weird hermit. I can sustain myself. Isn't that weird how I don't have to rely on my mom and my and the 1.2 thousand views per episode or some shit? Or whatever he depends on, whatever fucking he depends on. Yeah, man, it feels good to not have to worry about that shit.
That super chat shuffle is not working so well for him lately, and he's blaming everybody but himself. I would tell him, like, maybe that people don't like some of the stupid things you've been doing and saying, and that's why your money went down. They don't want to support that.
Right. It tells you how deep that the psychosis is. If you won't even think of that it's you. That speaks.
Yeah, the possibility hasn't even entered his mind, right? To think maybe it's because of me. Maybe it's because of things I've been saying. People don't like. And
usually that's what I call baby of the family syndrome. Usually the youngest of a large family gets the most leeway, so they grow up more self-entitled in life. It's just
we're only children. Only children too.
Or only children too. Yes, because the last child is the last to be spoiled and given the most leeway. He's that guy. He's
I don't know. I was the youngest, but I think it's something.
Me too.
I think it's something in Polish culture, like the firstborn gets everything.
Hey, I'm Polish too.
I was the
second Polacks.
Yeah, we're both Polacks. I was the second born. You just kind of know, like, I'm not getting shit. The firstborn is like the prince. It's some kind of Polish thing. I don't know.
I was lucky. I had a sister, so it was different. They treated us different no matter what, just because our sexes were different.
And so you moved from Detroit to Florida on purpose?
Yeah, not me. My parents did when I was
when you were a kid.
Yeah, I moved back in my 20s, but couldn't handle that cold either. I mean, man, those hoary winters. I would have to drink Jägermeister by the bottles just to stay warm. I mean, I could not get the thick skin, the thick blood. It just never hit me, and I was up there for a good 5 years.
Yeah, I was in the Midwest for a while. I lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I did one winter there, and it was 40 below one day.
Yeah.
And like the girl that I lived with was like, I was getting ready for work, and I didn't know. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting ready for work." She's like, "You can't go to work. It's 40 below." They just shut the whole city down for like a week when they have those cold snaps.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go outside to put the trash out. I was afraid I would die. I went outside just to feel it because I wanted to feel it. I'm like, I've never been in 40 below temperatures. But I did. I bundled all up. I went outside. I was like, whoa. I was out there 2 minutes. I'm like, that's enough for me.
Yeah, it's enough. Your eyeballs will start freezing.
Your eyeballs will start freezing. It's so cold. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one winter there, and I said, man, I thought Philly winter was bad. This is terrible. Nope. See ya.
And it started really acting up with my, with my arthritis, just everything. The cold was just, as soon as October would start to come around, I'd start getting depressed because I knew that, God damn it, I might not see the sun until May. And I was used to being down here for so long.
I do this. I do the countdown I hate winter, so I do that countdown every year. You can go and look. It's like countdown to spring, and they'll tell you like how many days are left.
Yeah. See, and
we got 138 days to go. GG, we'll make it.
Yeah, you will.
Well, you don't care about winter where you're at. Actually, isn't winter like a welcome in Florida because the temperatures cool off a little bit? What's the average temperature right now there?
Well, we just had a cold snap last week, and it got down to about 52. So that was cold for us.
That's a cold snap. Yeah.
That's a cold snap.
I hate you. Put a hoodie here. That's like just put a hoodie on and you're fine. You don't even need a coat yet,
And in the day, it was, in the heat of the day, around 4, it was 75.
Whoever this is cracking me up. Please unsubscribe from my channel. And that meant goof on, not my channel.
How did they get that name, man?
I don't know, but it's funny as hell.
Is this channel
Oh,
still there?
I think it's somebody on YouTube that also makes those videos of him saying I love the Nazis. Oh, it's so bad.
Why would you ever allow that to become a soundbite during your show, right? Unless you're trying to get ass. That's the only way that you would say, yeah, baby, you're a good Nazi. That's the only reason I could think, is if it was a prospect to get some ass. But listen, I don't think you could even pull it with the Nazi card. Yeah, use your Nazi card.
You'd be surprised how many. I had to laugh at the number of men that are simping and white knighting for that Nazi girl on the internet. There is just I got attacked by all of them for doing the story on her.
Scary. That's scary. But then, I said something to somebody and they get mad at me, but they were just kind of like, hey, listen, man, she might have mental problems and that she's young and impressionable and, maybe she's mentally ill. And I'm like, listen, man, maybe. All I know is she's talking about good Nazis, bad Nazis, and the Guerrilla and stuff. You can't talk about that and not expect some anti-Semitic blowback. You just can't. I don't make the rules. I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to go talking about that stuff. It's just not part. I personally don't find any humor in anti-Semitism, and so I don't see why even
that girl got her. For anybody that needed more proof or evidence that I wasn't being hyperbolic in my criticism of her or hyping up what she may have said or done. Shortly after our broadcast here, she lost her Patreon because she was posting Holocaust denying things.
See, that's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
That's bullshit stuff. It doesn't. What place does that have in any other realm except for hate that we're accused so much of?
Yeah, and then to me, it's those people have been victimized so much already. Imagine having a family member who died in the gas chambers, and here's this blonde-haired, fake blue-eyed girl. By the way, she's not blonde-haired and blue-eyed. That's all fake. She's
from cosplay.
She's from Spain, so I'm pretty sure she's not blonde-haired and blue-eyed. Being from Spain, it's all fake. And, this whole thing is just hate. You're right. It's hateful and it's hurtful to the people that have already been victimized to have this dummy on the internet telling people the Holocaust didn't happen or it didn't happen the way they said,
Right. Or it's all covered. Well, it's because because the Jews run the media, because the Jews run Hollywood, because it's something. She
called it she called YouTube YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep. I have screenshots of her calling it YouTube.
I've seen that.
And then telling people that there's some vast Jewish conspiracy against her.
Isn't there always?
To stop her content from being seen. Because her talking about aliens is so important that a bunch of Jewish people got together and decided to ban. Oh, again with the shadow ban. She said she was shadow banned, right?
Of course. That's because again, they can't realize that just people don't want to hear that shit. There just isn't. I don't know what you're expecting. Look, it's like our buddy over there, Goof on. He's got what? Last I looked, it was around 8,000 subscribers.
Oh, somebody just sent me a message and they go, he was sucking up to you. He must have known you were coming on here and he was sucking up to you yesterday and trying to be nice to you or something. That's
really?
Nice. Yeah.
I haven't died.
Telling you he loved you even though you disagree on things or something. That's great. Unless he was talking about a different Gigi. I don't know. That's funny.
Oh, you know what he is, man. He's talking about Gigi Abby Lynn.
Oh, that's who he was talking to then. Yeah. So
yes.
Somebody's.
Yeah. No, he's called me disgusting. No, man. And not only that, you don't go from calling me a fake cancer patient to loving me the next day. That'd be some weird bipolar shit, but that's a GG.
Well, somebody thought that he knew you were coming on here, so he was trying to soften you up so you wouldn't beat him up too much or something like that. I don't know.
Which it wouldn't. No, you know what, man? It was such a stupid ass thing that him and I even started fighting over. That you know, I really could care two shits about him. That's why it's just amazes me still that he thinks that all of he thinks that me, you, and Anthony are this trio of hate. And
and it's really not about that.
It has nothing to do with that.
Things went south between the two of us because I went after Third Phase of Moon. And you know what? In my defense, I was drinking on this show, and I'm not using it as an excuse, but they came on and I was drinking, and I'm an angry, mean drunk. And I remember specifically thinking, I may never get this chance again. I may never get it again. So I went after them. I'm like, you made a documentary with this guy lying through his teeth, you assholes.
I saw that live, and I was like, finally, somebody's speaking for the voiceless, dude. Because this is what nobody was doing, and it was driving everybody crazy. I mean, God.
He plays with your hair. He plays. I want to play with Guerrilla gamers. Yeah, I used to have hair down to my butt, and I really want to do that again, but my wife is done.
Yeah.
She is like, no way. She's
that
like,
was
no,
the other.
No. And I'm like, I had long hair like that when you met me, and she was like, that was a long time ago. Now I just have a normal haircut. Yeah, she didn't want me to.
My ex-wife didn't want me to have long hair either. But yeah, that was the other thing is I don't look like a cancer patient because I have hair.
Yeah, how dare you look healthy? You should shave your head bald and look more like a real cancer patient, Gigi.
Not only that, the treatments that I'm on chemotherapy has come a long way. And the Remeron treatments that I'm on does not take my hair. It doesn't take your hair. Now, if they get more aggressive, of course, because your body just starts to, your hair goes thin and everything just kind of is, it's not focusing on keeping your hair healthy. You know what I mean? It's it's not a wig or nothing like that. I just have long hair because I'm a hermit, dude. I don't go nowhere and I'm a hermit.
You're a hermit. Yeah. Or maybe you didn't get enough donations from faking cancer.
That was it. I had a quota, man. I didn't meet.
You didn't get enough donations from faking cancer to afford a haircut. Yeah, that's what it was.
Because it was zero. I mean, I really met my goal. I mean, I got zero.
Somebody's telling me to check his channel, and I don't know why. So somebody should explain that in the YouTube. Maybe his channel got.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frothing at the mouth. God, all you'd have to do is
we could put him in a good mood.
Yeah, right. Like that. That's gonna happen. He's gonna curse us again, like Gargamel does to the Smurfs. Curses.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Who curses, man? I'll tell you, that Italian kid. The Italians love to curse. Hey, I curse you. No, I'm just kidding, Anthony. It's but yeah, if you added Anthony on here, Jesus, man, that would just, his head would explode. I'd hear it an hour and a half away from because we're just the colluding motherfuckers that are out to get him. Because how did it get evolved into a political thing? How all of us are left?
Oh yeah, and
I don't know where that comes from.
You know what's so funny?
I never mentioned politics.
He keeps calling me a libtard, and I'm
and all this. Me too.
And anybody that really knows me, Gigi, would probably say I'm more right wing than anything. But I'm an independent. Like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. And as far as my show, I specifically stay out of all of that because I feel like no matter what you say, you're going to piss off half the audience, and I don't want to do that. We're not here to talk about politics, so
it's not a.
Once in a while, I talk about things though. Like I do think it's funny. Everybody's losing their mind because it's been 3 years since the Biden announced his candidacy for president and has been the president. This is the first time that they fact checked him on Twitter. And I don't think that's fair because Donald Trump, from the moment, and I'm not a Trump fan, but from the moment that he announced his candidacy and the whole 4 years he was president, everything he said, fact check, fact check, fact check, fact check, fact check. And they're all losing their minds now because I think that Musk took the thumb off the scale, and he pulled back on the censorship. And now there might be a more even playing field. And one side doesn't like it because they've had it nice, You can censor stories. You can throw people off that have differing views,
Spin narratives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love how they can label something fake so you can't share it. And then it turns out, oh, that was 100% real,
Yeah.
Well, too late now. The election's over. Very convenient,
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't talk about politics. I don't hear you talk about it. And I hear Anthony talk about it.
I have a singular theory on politics, and that is that both sides are criminals, both of them.
Yeah,
and I get kind of annoyed with people who are part of me is jealous of people who've been able to pick a side and they feel very strongly that their side is the better side, because I kind of feel like, congratulations, you picked who you think is the lesser of the two criminals. It's like voting for Hillary and Trump. Like, okay, I got to pick who is the lesser of these two criminals. It's so stupid. Yeah. And now we have, in Pennsylvania, we have Fetterman and Dr. Oz running for Senate. And they're both very problematic characters. The one guy pretends he's a working class guy. He never had a job until he was 40. He lived off his rich parents. The other guy was selling fake weight loss pills or something. I don't know.
Has a talk show.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, that probably was on Dancing with the Stars or some shit too. I don't know. Yeah, but that's who you want involved in your civic.
In your life. Yeah, that's who I want representing me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing I thought when I saw him is, hey, but they do groom them, because I went to school with a kid that ended up being the head of the Department of Florida Agriculture, Adam Putnam. I went to high school with him. And
that's interesting.
And from junior high school, this kid was groomed. You knew he was going to be something. He was the kid that wore the fucking bow tie to school, man. He was the class president. He you could tell that, look, this kid could be president or something. And then but he had a very guided life to that point. So his father was a mayor. So they are. People are groomed to be one of those leaders. They're going to be the elite, the 1%. I remember in school, some school I was at, went to Catholic high school, all boys Catholic high school, and there was a Republican club, and I was like, who would join that? I just looked in and I'm like, oh, those people. Yeah. The rich bullies and the. Yeah. The Key Club, I never even knew what the fuck. I was never invited to no damn Key Club, but there was all that kind of stuff, and those type of people are real big into that stuff, man. And hey, we need politicians, I suppose. So it ain't gonna be me.
Pragmagic is here, and Pragmagic is actually somebody I would consider an expert in the occult. And so, Pragmagic, I want you to come on and just tell people that I'm not lying when I say that you can't curse people by pulling tarot cards, one for each person. This Dr. Strange goof pulled tarot cards without our permission and said that he cursed me and Gigi here. And you're a cult expert. He's got a whole podcast on occult stuff. I want somebody that's an expert to come here and say, that's not how this works, you dummy. That's not how any of this works.
And he added me and Anthony on one card.
Yeah, you guys
how's that work?
Share a card.
Yeah, I mean, why is that, man? Because celestially, me and Anthony are linked, and somehow
You guys
is
are
that how it
soul
works?
brothers now.
Yeah,
You're soul brothers now.
Soul brothers.
You know what's funny is that Anthony from Unidentified S4 and Ron from Cosmic Neighbors are coming to my cabin.
Yeah, I heard about
And
that.
oh boy, I got to come up with some stuff. I'm going to get those guys, you know. I got to get a bear suit and a friend or something to scare the shit out of them and film it, right?
Gotta do something, man. Gotta do something.
Goosebump says, I'm a god. I can pull any card I want. I'm stupid smart. And Gigi, somebody sent me the link to it, or they sent me they sent me the clip, and before he does the curse on us, he tells everybody that he's one of the most powerful beings in the universe.
I saw that clip.
Jesus Christ, it's so bad.
He stops and looks at you and he goes, it's true. It's true.
You might not believe it, but it's true. Yeah, because all of the most powerful beings in the universe, Gigi, live in a trailer in their mom's backyard.
And is having a hard time paying her.
He blames me, Gigi.
That's
I have a
fucking fault.
too. He blamed me. He's like, I couldn't pay my mom the $100. I had a bad couple of months because of goddamn Steve Cambion. Like, I felt bad. Because I can imagine his old Italian mom, like, Richie, what are you doing?
Where's my $100?
Where's my $100? I need the $100 for the supermarket, Richie. What are you doing?
I'm not getting
Get a job. And then he got so pissed off because his mom and dad are telling him to get a job.
Your YouTube thing not working out, Richie? No? Okay, you got to get a job. Like now.
You needed a job. None of this a YouTube shit. You needed the job, Richie.
Go to the YouTube store. Work there.
By the way, I just want to tell Space Exposure that I apologize because I missed his super chat. We gave a kind and generous $2 pledge to the show. He said, this is too funny, good stuff. And yeah, I want to thank you, Gigi, because I laughed more on this show and had a better time than we have had here in quite some time. And you know how this gets to be. Like, it's a grind sometimes. I want to return to just having a really good time here like we did tonight.
Man. Yeah, man. Anytime.
You know,
anytime. I have fun.
Yeah. So I guess we'll bounce on out of here. But before we do, I want to remind everybody that you can throw money at us here to support the show.
Yeah, man, do it.
Or you can like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I promise if you send us money, I'm not going to tell anybody that they're faking cancer unless I have proof.
Right, go into your PlayStation. Your PlayStation fund.
Yeah, come on, man. I got a PlayStation to buy, you know?
Come on.
It's already bought. It's, you know?
Yeah, but the games, and come on, it'll be something next. Come on.
Mom, I can't pay the rent.
Ma, I can't pay the rent, Ma.
Make me some meatballs to go on the street corner and sell because I can't pay the rent.
I'm homeless meatballs, Ma.
Well, I'm supposed to take a major downturn in my finances here, so I'm going to the casino tomorrow.
True. Tighten up.
That's how much I believe in his superpowers. I'm going to the casino tomorrow. And ask my wife or anybody who really knows me, I don't do that. I would rather put the $50, like, go to a nice meal or something with the
I don't either.
But
you're right, though, man. That is that might be some good reverse juju to try out.
I'm selling meatballs on the freeway, Ma! Freeway balls.
How many meatballs would he have to sell to equal 1 month's third phase of moon hoard check?
Well, that's what's so sad is that they literally pay him pennies. They're like,
I mean, how much could it be? How much could it be to sell your?
Apparently, a soul is very cheap because a lot of people sell their soul to those guys for you. They try to do it to me. They try to do it to Lions Ground Astral Citizens. We both said no because they were offering nothing. And I I told Heathcliff, I'm like, look, I'm okay with you being a whore, but you better be an expensive whore so I can respect you. But nobody respects a cheap whore that's going to go for YouTube pennies, you know?
No.
Third Phase Moon is holding his penny
point.
check. Yeah. So just
it's
to
going
remind
to his penny stocks.
Just to remind everybody, I did put Gigi's channel link in the description of the video. I'll put it in the live chat as well, or somebody can help me to do that. We got to get him to $1,000 so he can ask for donations.
Oh, man.
That'd be good, right?
Hey.
Just don't fake cancer, like you know.
Never.
And by the way, didn't you say, or somebody said, that they're going to go to the Americans with Disabilities organization because Gufon has now made fun of 4 people that are all disabled.
Yeah. And you know, it's I started thinking about doing it, you know, that not so much that it bothers me, but to stop them from doing it to somebody else. Because every time I go to every time I go to the Hollis Cancer Center, I see somebody that makes me go, God damn, I could have it way worse. Like I could be in a way worse state. And what's to stop, you know, him from picking on somebody like that, you know? And they don't put up with shit, man. They don't put up with any of that.
No,
bullshit.
They have lawyers. They'll shut them down for that kind of speech. Yeah. They'll shut them down for it. Their whole point of that whole organization's existence is to support people who have disabilities who are getting the shaft by stupid people like him.
And they're pit bulls.
Yeah.
They are pit bulls.
I don't understand how he can keep doing that on YouTube, though. Like, each of those is a community guideline strike. There's 4 people. That's 4 strikes, you know?
I asked, and you know, they just said it's part of the process. Thanks for using the tool. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I saw you said a screenshot. You were adding Team YouTube or something.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I never reported him for anything. I figured that other people would. I didn't want to be,
maybe,
you know.
But it should take one person if it's, you know.
Yeah, look at the timestamp. He's clearly making fun of disabled people or saying somebody faked their cancer when they have paperwork to prove that they have cancer. You can't do things like this.
No, man, but just like you said, I want to live in a world. I want to believe that I live in a world that's just, but this is a guy who can say, go ahead and sue me. What are you going to get? I can't even pay my mom $100 rent. He is, you know, so he's that safe, you know, I can say whatever the fuck I want, but he doesn't realize that ain't how it works. Not always how it works.
What I told you, I think I told you off air too, that like karma will catch up. The problem is that karma takes too long sometimes. It's slow. It's too slow, you know?
But this, I have a feeling that it's rapidly declining.
Maybe you got superpowers too.
Maybe
I'm a psychic premonition that karma is going to come around soon, right?
I pulled a card, and it's a. Oh no, sorry. This is just a fucking receipt from my deal meal. But no, you know, my powers say that he will have half live viewers in less than a month.
Well, that's already happened, I think. I think he's already way down from where he was.
But I'm talking.
But here's the problem, though. He's got an endless supply of new stupid people being fed to him from Third Phase. So when you think about all the people that he has pissed off that used to watch, he would be at twice his viewers right now if he didn't piss everybody off.
But even Third Phase isn't getting the numbers that Secure Team is. I mean, Secure Team, just compare, and regardless,
they're killing Third Phase.
Yeah. I mean, Third Phase is getting statistically about 30,000 views per video, but in the past month to month and a half. So every video they've relit, and you go for 800,000K base, you know, that's weird. That's weird, man.
Yeah, I definitely think that's weird, right?
Yeah, because that's less than 4% of your subscriber rate base. So you know, and it's supposed to be I mean, it's supposed to theoretically be very high because, I mean, if somebody subscribes, they're going to watch what you put out, typically. Now, I mean, that's not how it always works, but if you have 800,000 people, I think you'd at least have half of the people watching your videos in a month's time.
Yeah, you would think that you would have that many, right?
Just figured at least half. I mean, but just say a quarter. They ain't even getting a quarter. They're getting less. They're getting 4%. So, well, I don't know.
Part of me, though, does want to play devil's advocate and say, well, they've been around for a long time, so maybe half their subscribers are gone. You know, they subscribed ages ago, and then they stopped.
It could be.
They stopped watching. They died. You know,
could be. Good man.
I stopped watching Rich for a minute. Then he started talking S about me. He's a lot of people like him here. Imagine that, right?
Weird that he's done this to other people. Weird that you and I aren't just spitting out hate. We just we're talking about similar situations with the same person.
Yeah,
and everybody knows.
You know what? I do have a fun music video to share if you want to see it,
dude.
This is a new one from Simon Fly, who made a whole bunch of them. This is like the
love his work.
Let's take a short musical break, Gigi, before we end and see this wonderful work by Simon Fly.
It says the good Nazis were separating from the bad Nazis. It says the good Nazis were separating from the bad Nazis. Justice for this person who didn't do anything wrong.
Good Nazis.
Justice for this person who didn't do anything wrong.
Good Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. I really like the Nazis.
Good Nazis.
Nazis. Nazis, not Nazis. I really like the Nazis. I really like the
good Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. Nazis.
Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. I really like the
good Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. Nazis.
Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. I really like the
good Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. Nazis.
Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
Hey, I would love to be. Hey, I would love to be.
Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
Hey, I would love to be. Hey, I would love to be.
Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis. Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, the racist. I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, the racist. I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, the racist. I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, the racist.
Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis.
Good Nazis. Separated from the negative Nazis. I really like the Nazis.
Good Nazis.
I really like the Nazis. Nazis. I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, racist. I'm a misogynist. I hate my mother. I hate my father. I'm also a Nazi, racist.
I'm a misogynist.
I know it looked like that was all out of sync. I hope it wasn't. I don't know. But
no, that was
it was.
That was good.
just for the purposes of fair use, we're sharing that clip to educate the public that when most rational and sane people saw that this woman was wearing SS Nazi earrings, that she was wearing Nazi uniforms on Instagram, that her public posts were doing things like calling YouTube Jewtube, and she was claiming there's a Jewish conspiracy against her, denying the Holocaust, talking about good Nazis. Now, most people condemned her, but not Rich.
No, he saw it as a play.
To defend her. he saw it as a way to get views as well, because he saw that my report going after her for these things did well views wise. And he's rich. If he ever has an original thought, dies of loneliness, you know? So I think he just went, oh, I could take the other side and get just as many views as him defending her. And he didn't even bother to look into her posts before saying this girl did nothing wrong. You know,
see, that's where there's a problem with the filter, man. If you should know as soon as if there's Nazi, you know, good Nazis, bad Nazis, anything of that involved, man, don't go on a crusade for that person. Don't, you got to know. I mean, just, so it's weird decisions like that I see continuing. I see it just continue because that's just bad decision making, man. I mean, really.
I know. In what universe did he think I'll go defend this Nazi girl and people will be on my side? It's like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
I've never asked the area, you know, the area nation. You could ask them; they'll tell us, you know, a pretty similar thing too.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, I don't even care anymore. You know, some people you just have to put in your rear view mirror, right? Well,
you got to
doing that and just move on and go.
You got to.
Why? You know, you know, the truth is, even if he didn't get in some kind of stupid disagreement with me, if I had seen him doing all this stuff, I would just distance myself from him, like slowly or something, and then just tell him, like, I can't be seen with you, or, you know, whatever, because I disagree with all of these things you're doing. Fat shaming people, you know, making fun of disabled people, defending Nazis, making fun of people who are currently battling cancer,
misogyny.
He got banned off of Twitter for randomly making fun of trans people. Like, he would just go find trans people and be like, I'm not into trans girls. You're disgusting. Like, why would you do that?
That's just some hate. That's some hate, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hate. The hate we're accused of. Yet I have never been kicked off Twitter. So, you know.
Me neither. I had a suspension once, and I can't remember what I did. Something stupid, though. It was something minor, and they suspended me for 7 days or something.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he threatened me over Twitter, and I even said that because I wasn't sure exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, here's another misconception. There's one supporter. I love how all the people Rich provided a platform for ended up here bad-mouthing him. No, Rich took a whole bunch of my content and would play it on his show because he's so lazy. So every time I did something good, he would play 10 or 15 minutes of my show every night, and he did that for months and months and months. He didn't give me a platform. He took content from me because he's too lazy to create his own. There is nothing original that he does. All he does is talk over other people's work, telling people he's an expert. But to me, I only consider somebody an expert if they have accomplishments in that field that they claim to be an expert in. Just, you know,
which doesn't exist. So
there's no content. And I struggle to even think of any show that he did that people can remember that's not just stupid things like defending Nazis. Sure, people remember that. They remember when he makes fun of disabled people. They remember when he defends Nazis. But what good stories did he himself research, develop, and you know, investigate and put out there? None.
No. He just talks. You're not getting original content, and that's the problem too. Is I try to think of what the hell he thinks he's a comedian.
Fake is here now too.
Oh man,
we had to change the heart. We hope.
Yeah, but you know, oh shit, I forgot what I was saying there. But
yeah, we were talking about being notorious. That's not providing original content. That's just saying shocking things. And even this stupid curse, he put it in the title so that people would tune in and see what is he talking about. He's going to curse people on his show.
Yeah.
And then people click on it to see what he did, and he did. The only thing worse would have been if they were dollar store tarot cards. They were Five Below tarot cards, right?
It's ridiculous.
Uh,
The whole thing.
I want to concentrate on more fun stuff like Florida Man conspiracies. Now I'm going to be looking at Florida Man stuff for a while, right?
Yeah, dude. Jump down the rabbit hole. Would love to have you.
Yeah, I'll come on your show when you're doing some of these stories because we had a good time tonight. It was funny. It was fun.
Damn right, man.
Right? And I encourage everybody else. All you got to do is Google Florida Man, and you'll find thousands of these weird ass crazy stories. It's
Just
so
go
weird.
on a ride. Just go on a ride.
And what else do you cover on your show besides that, though? You should talk up your channel here.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. He's like, I just do Florida Man.
I just do Florida Man comedy. I'm just a comedy show. I try to kind of do it like theater of the mind type shit. Where I try to. I don't know. I just tried to make a fun show that might make you laugh, and that's it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't go any deeper than that.
Yeah, Floridians at its best.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's constantly giving. They're constantly a giving source, and that's hard with a lot of things,
You can't see one that's worse. Then you keep looking and you find one that's worse, like the dude having sex with donkeys. And there's one about a guy that had tried to have sex with a dolphin. I saw.
Yeah, it gets dark quick, man. It goes dark. It goes from dude riding backwards on the freeway to dude trying to have sex with a dolphin. So you gotta understand that. Look,
I don't know. There's got to be alcohol involved in that or something. Like, well, who is just sitting around and there's a dolphin there, and he goes, you know what? I think I'm going to try to bang it.
Maybe the dolphin was coming on to him, man. Maybe it was giving him the the fucking eye. I hop in these warm waters with my weirdly dry vagina. I don't know. What the hell would you do? I have no clue. I don't know how that would work. But since we have SeaWorld and I'm sure it's there's a fetish for everybody.
That's some weird shit though.
Marine pescatarians
fetish.
That's gotta be. It's gotta be, man.
That's funny. Oh, that's gross. All right, well, I'm going to throw you out of here. We did our due diligence tonight. We brought people some fun about the Florida Man conspiracy, and I appreciate you coming here. The link to his channel is in the description of the video. If you had a good time laughing at this stuff tonight, you're going to have a good time going to his show and laughing at it. There's so many. He does this every day. Every day he finds more. Every day.
You can't give him a day off. Florida Man doesn't take a day off.
All right. Well, you have a good night. And I really do mean it. You will be in my thoughts and prayers and meditations. I'm trying to send you some healing white light and good vibes. And I really hope that you take the time to really focus on your health and well-being in the next few months. And we'll all be praying for you as well.
Got it, brother. Thank you. I
all right. You have a good night.
You too.
Florida Man. By the way, you're a Florida Man. I'm waiting for the news story of Guerrilla Gamer. Don't try to bang a dolphin or anything. Come on, man.
If feverishly masturbating in the park, just airing out my cock, man. I'm just airing it out. All right, man.
All right. You have a good night. Bye-bye. Well, what a fun time that we have. Secure Team 10. Is this really him? I'm in poor trolls in the live chat, but we've allowed it tonight because they're not trolling me, they're trolling people I don't really like. So yeah. So comments or questions for me, please put them in all caps. In the meantime, I'm going to check in and make sure that we did not miss any super chats or PayPal or Cash App pledges. For those unaware, We are a viewer-supported show, and you can support our show by throwing money at us. There's a money button down there in the live chat. You can send any amount you wish, or if you're listening to a replay and not the live show, there is something called Super Thanks. So you can send a few bucks or throw a few bucks in our hat and keep us producing this show. And also, you can do that by PayPal or Cash App as well. So we've read the Super Chats. By the way, we read every single Super Chat and thank every single person that sends any support our way, no matter how they send it. If you become a channel member or a Patreon supporter during the live show, we read that out, letting people know that you have supported the show in that way. For those unaware, I have a Patreon where we post some extra goodies every month, early access to some of the material, the produced videos that we post here. We do a monthly show journal and more on Patreon, and that's $1 or more a month. And the channel membership right here on YouTube, you just click the join button. That's $5 or more, and you get all the Patreon benefits and some extra YouTube goodies like a badge letting people in the live chat know that you're a supporter and member of the show. And we appreciate every single one of you. The other way that you can help us, I always have to do the YouTube thing and remind people. Let me get over to there. That the other way that you can help us is by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing these videos. It really does help. If you know somebody interested in strange and esoteric topics on the internet, everything from UFOs to tonight, this strange Florida man conspiracy, you too can help us by sending them a link to this video or one of our videos that you think on a topic they might enjoy. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter. It really, really does help us. My life and the life of this show is in the hands of the AI algorithm. Our AI algorithm, who art in the cloud, hear our prayer. Every day I say a prayer to you. Please do rise us in the search engine. Please do help us gain more viewers, more subscribers, more listeners. We pray. Find favor with us. Help us grow our show. In Google's name we pray. Amen. Every day, friends, I say a prayer to an AI algorithm who has my show's future in their control, really. And UFO John Doe is here with a kind and generous $4.99, and he's also a member. So thank you for both of those things. Very kind and generous of you. UFO John Doe says, "Hey, Stephen, been absent with Phillies playoff. Do you have a chance to watch Moment of Contact? Episode on it coming soon." Yes and yes. And I don't want to give away too much. So here's what I'll say. Next week, I will do a review. I'm trying to get a few other people who have watched it because I don't want to just offer my own opinion. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a consensus of opinion on this thing. And I'll just say it's not good. Also, one of the things that I've noticed that has really soured me to James Fox, by the way, I asked him for an interview a bunch of times, no reply at all. But he will go on all the UFO circle jerk shows. Who do I mean? Ryan Sprague, Jimmy Church, anybody who is the softballers. In other words, people who just let people come on and promote whatever they're selling, don't ask hard questions, don't, do any research on the guests. I have a problem with that. Why will he go on the circle jerk shows and not on any shows that are going to ask him serious or hard questions? And I certainly have some. I promised him that I would be kind and respectful, and would do all those things that he wants, probably, which is help him. And by the way, I'm not sure if it's always the case, but we have better views than Ryan Sprague. So it's not about platform. He appears to be specifically choosing to go on the shows that will let him just sell his latest work and not really be pressed for answers. And, I have a problem with that. And by the way, Ryan Sprague does get better views than us when he does the UFO circle jerk with the big name UFO celebrities. But if it's just Ryan Sprague versus me, our numbers are better here. So, it's not about platform. And I understand that sometimes they'll say, oh, well, I'm going on that show because he has twice your viewers or whatever. But not in Ryan Sprague's case, he doesn't. Al Warrior with the kind of generous $5 says, funny show. I'll be sharing to all the metalheads I know. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and Al Warrior is a longtime show supporter. We love you, Al Warrior. Thank you for your support. It means a lot. And I have mentioned here that from now until April, every dollar that goes into the till here will be going to building the new studio at the new forest location that we have just purchased. You guys know that I'm big on building cabins and building with natural materials. So the new recording studio is not going to cost that much. Unfortunately, though, I kind of blew my load buying a forest. We bought a forest. So, I did put out a great deal of money to purchase the land. And now I'm going to be a little shy for materials to build the actual studio. But I trust in the universe. And I was called, I'm telling you, I felt called by a divine purpose to build this new studio and expand our capabilities here. And manifested that forest, that beautiful, serene, quiet, no neighbors for miles forest where we're going to be building this recording studio and video production studio and offices. My whole company is going to be headquartered there. And I can't tell you how happy I am about it. Certainly, though, a little short on funds after purchasing the land. But and by the way, I still have a loan to pay on that. But, it's not like a big nut to crack. It's reasonable. And the new studio is not going to cost what it should, because we're going to be making up for lack of financial resources with manpower resources. I've already had, by the way, thank you. I've already had many, many people reach out to me, and it warms my heart. I have had electricians, carpenters, tile setters, all manner of a roofer, an electrician. I've had all kinds of people offer to come there and help me with whatever I need for free. And this is all from viewers here. So it really warms my heart that so many people want to help in this effort. So every dollar from now until April, at least, because we can't break ground on the new headquarters until April, is going to go in the till. And then we won't need much. We are going to be purchasing things like nails, screws, mortar mix. Like if we're building a fireplace or a stone floor, you need mortar mix. I mean, I could do it with mud, but that's really messy and it doesn't last. And then it gets dirty real fast. And so we're going to buy some things like mortar mix, screws, nails, some other things. But everything to build this new headquarters and office and studio and recording studio, everything is going to come from the forest that we bought. When I looked at that place, I saw thousands of trees around. We see rocks, stone, pieces of stones. It's all natural stone everywhere, all over the place. There's enough stone there to build a stone sauna, a fireplace, stone floors, stone showers, whatever we need out of stone there, maybe a stone outhouse. I don't know. So I suppose the point I was trying to make is that it's not going to cost much to build this, what we have in mind, because we've already purchased most of the materials. It's just some assembly required. I'm going to have to go around with a trailer or a wagon and collect stone from this whole property and put it in one big pile. So we have all the stone we need. And by the way, stone is expensive if you purchase it. So I know That's a resource. Some people might have looked at that land and seen all the stones laying all over the place and thought, oh, this is going to take forever. No, me, I went, oh, that's a fireplace. That's a stone floor. That's a stone shower. That's a stone sauna. A lot of things that you can build from stone. I even think we could build a whole cottage out of stone. There's so much there. And there's plenty of trees there. So we're going to be building the whole thing out of natural materials. But that being said, you still need things. We're still going to need nails. We're still going to need screws. I do have a whole bunch of vintage. I call them my Amish tools. I have a big chest that's hand drills, hand saws. I have a 2-man saw, a butt cut. It's called a cross cut saw. I have wood chisels. We have those things called draw knives that you debark the trees with. I have all the tools that we need, and we're just going to need a little bit of money for materials. And everything coming in here is going to go to that, because our whole future is going to be based on that location. And what a great location it will be, right? UFO John Doe says, totally agree on Fox. Dude is on a marathon softball podcast tour. Watched it, and it was completely ridiculous. Congrats on the property purchase. Thank you, UFO John Doe. And I'm putting your $5 right in my pile. You're going to help me pay for some nails and screws and hinges. We're going to need hardware for the doors. And by the way, we may purchase some things, because building doors and things out of like round logs, doesn't work very good. We might need some flat or dimensional lumber to build a few things like doors and window frames out of. By the way, I've already started collecting. I have some old windows that I picked from the trash. Everything in this new headquarters is going to be natural materials or recycled as much as possible. And I think we're going to get away with like 90 or 95% of everything is coming from the forest. The forest, when I saw that forest, I looked around and I had this tremendous feeling of empowerment, knowing that the forest would provide. And by the way, I know some of you are sort of environmental friendly or, environmentalists. And truly, so am I. We're not just going to go in there and start cutting down living trees. What we do is we look at the forest and we say, this tree is standing dead and has been for a few years. You knock on it, see if it's still solid. That's a good tree. It's dead. We cut it, we drag it back to the build site and use that for materials to build with. Also, all over this forest, there is trees that fell down. There was some big storms not long ago, and there's plenty of smaller trees that cracked and fell over or something. They're laying on the forest floor, and if we don't take them and use them for something, whether it be firewood or building materials, they will just rot in the forest. But even that's good for the forest, because that provides, nutrients for the seedlings. And I'm trying to think of a good way to thank people. And I think I've come up with a really fun thing, which is all over the forest, which we've purchased, there is pine tree saplings, little pine trees this big. And I thought a nice way to thank all of you, because if you just leave them there, at least half of them will die, because there's too many of them. So we may start pulling some of those pine trees, putting them in planters, and we'll be using. I think that's nice, because you're going to help. If you're helping us to fund this dream in this forest, you're going to get a piece of the forest for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'm going to try to work that out. So thank you, UFO John Doe, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Unidentified S4, who, by the way, became a Patreon supporter as well. So I got him for $19.99 plus $1 already. Thank you, Anthony, for the new place, bud. Thank you. And Anthony, when you and Ron visit, we can go to the new location. It's 4 miles away. It'll take 6 minutes to drive there. I'd like to show it to you and see what you guys think. I would really like to show. I haven't showed it to anybody. Even my wife hasn't been there in person yet. She's seen videos. She's seen pictures. And by the way, I did mention that I will have a video soon. I just keep getting sidetracked, but I'm going to work on that tonight and tomorrow. It should be on Patreon in the next couple of days. I've made all these videos of that location and me walking around the forest, and you get to see everything. And I give some of my thoughts on the, building things there and what we're going to build and why. And I want to get that done just for myself to have it and as a memory. So I will have that as soon as possible. And we have some new videos coming out soon. I've decided that since Third Phase of Moon can put garbage out, so can we. So we're going to be putting out some garbage videos where I'm going to put clickbait titles on them. It's a social experiment. Things like alien encounter filmed in the desert. Wait till you see what it is. It's so funny. And we're going to put these things out, and nobody's allowed to bust my balls because Third Phase does it. So Goofon and Third Phase, you can't say shit. Right? You guys do it and get away with it. And Rich with his clickbait garbage. I'm cursing people with my $5 tarot cards, right? Oh, it's great. And Patty Wilhelm is here. Welcome, Patty. Says, Stephen, please share project pictures as construction develops. Oh, we're going to do better than that, Patty. We're going to film, we can't film 100% of it because sometimes it'd be boring. Like, do you really want to watch me chopping down trees for 8 hours? But we're going to film a lot of the whole thing. We're going to film we're going to be doing a lot of forestry work, taking down all of the standing dead trees and dragging them back to the build sites. We're going to be posting videos about the water system, about the power system, the solar panel system, and the wind turbine. We're going to have solar power and a wind turbine there with a big tower to power the whole place. It's going to be wonderful. There's no power poles within miles of that place. So unless we have $20,000 or $25,000 to pay for like 20 poles from the nearest pole, the power company there makes you pay for the poles and the installation of them to get the power to your property. We don't have that. We're going to put in a very hefty, big solar power system and wind turbine. It should be more than enough to power everything that we need and even have leftover power. But we're going to be filming all of these construction projects. First floor audio. I am all of those except verifying electrics. I get my mate to sign off on it. Well, you're welcome to come over here and help me with everything that you know how to do. Sheila Aliens is here, and I should remind everybody that Sheila Aliens will be here tomorrow night at 9 p.m., and we're going to be talking about, can you be a believer and a skeptic at the same time? Because I think it's interesting that both Sheila Aliens and me, we're very skeptical, but we're also believers as well. And I thought that'd be a good topic to explore. Sheila Alien saying you should go metal detecting in your forest. Definitely going to do that, actually. I have a friend who does that. He's a treasure hunter. And he has already said that as soon as he heard that we have a forest, he called me and said, can I come there with my gear and we'll split anything we find 50-50. Then we had some fun negotiations because I'm like, no, man, it's my forest. Let's do 90-10. And I was kidding him. I agreed to the 50-50 because what's half of nothing? I don't know what's there. It could be some old Civil War gold for all I know. There's old logging trails. Who knows? So I said, absolutely. And he'll be coming there in the early spring and staying with me. And he's got good stuff too, Sheila. He's got the best gear. Dr. Holiday is here. I just hate how the fact that counterintelligence has infiltrated so many of the good ufologists over the years. You don't know who's good info and bad info anymore. Well, I would tell you that we have quite good coverage here of many of the bigger names in the UFO field. Go to our channel, go to the search bar, and just put in somebody's name, and you might find a whole show about how they're selling fake stories or whatever. I'm told by many people that they like the channel here because if they're not sure if somebody's one of the, let's just say, bad actors, they come here and they search, right? This is not to say that if you search and don't find them, they're not a bad actor or a cosmic con artist, but There's many, we have covered many people. I know some idiot likes to tell people we only cover the same 5 people, and that's not true. We've covered hundreds here. But thank you for your comment. I will build my bigger studio. I have no forest, though, just a large space for the build. Well, good for you. We could exchange notes. I'm looking for lots of ideas, right? Joe K says, I think James was just as disappointed as the rest of us. Only issue with James is he is very gullible. He wants to believe so bad he loses judgment. Yeah. I think this latest documentary is just another money grab. Nothing. I think it's a lot of it's a money grab. That's all I can really say about it. All right, let me catch up with the live chat. Spooky says, hit that like button. Yeah. And Spooky, I don't think that you sent me the thumbnail for tomorrow. I'm not asking you to do it today, but if you could have it early tomorrow, that'd be great. I want to put that up as early as possible. Tomorrow night, for those unaware, we have Sheila Aliens coming here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You may recall that she's in that documentary film, or the film, I'm just going to call it a film, The Hoax Files, Third Phase of Moon Exposed. She's in that film because they took a clip of her giving it to the Third Phase boys for faking so much stuff from way back. We're going to talk to her about them and about her own personal experiences, why she got so obsessed with this rabbit hole, and asking her important questions like, can you be a skeptic and a believer at the same time? I believe you can. We'll see what she has to say about this tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. First Floor Audio says, I will maybe show you how to do some stuff if you get stuck. Yeah, and I have several people. I have a best friend at the cabin that does construction, and when I really got stuck there, I would just have him come over. We would have a couple of beers and talk about whatever's in the way, whether it was a tree, a boulder, or something I didn't know how to do. He would help me through it. Great guy. And I always thought it was funny. First Floor Audio, I had this dream in my heart to build a cabin in the woods. So I bought a little plot of woods, and it just worked out so well because it was magically right across the street from me, my nearest neighbor, really my only neighbor. There's some other neighbors, but they're only there during hunting season or a couple of times in the summer for a few weekends, and then they're gone for the rest of the year. He's my only real neighbor. He lives there full time. I just thought it was funny that the universe put into my heart, or maybe God put into my heart, who knows who put into my heart, but I had this dream in my heart to build a cabin, but I never built anything. I didn't know how to do this, so I read a lot of books, I watched a lot of videos, still didn't really know what the hell I was doing, but it just so happened that the neighbor closest to me, where I bought the land to build the cabin, is an expert on all these things. This guy is amazing. He can do plumbing, roofing, electrical work, carpentry, construction, masonry, whatever. He's amazing. And I just thought it was funny that the universe guided me to buy a place where every time I would get stuck, and there's been a whole lot of being stuck, he would come over and walk me through what I should do to keep the build going, to keep the cabin dream alive. And, if not for him, I would have given up a bunch of times. I really would have given it up because there was things that I just didn't know how to do or couldn't figure out. We had quite a lot of early failures before he came over and showed me the right way to do things, right? Space Exposure is here and says, I wonder if the big names are approached by intel agencies when it starts to gain traction. Well, the Men in Black haven't approached me yet, Space Exposure, but if they do, I'll let you all know. Chuck Bam is here and says, Dogman is real. We're going to do a show on Dogman. I have never done a show on Dogman, so we are going to do it. Bob Birkins, Frenchie, is here. He says, Hide and Seek, the most ancient cosmic game ever made. Okay. Lord Ludicrous is here and says, great show tonight. Thank you, longtime show supporter, for your continued support and your good stuff. PBR Street Gang is here and says, thanks, Doc. I just got Tombstone. via uTorrent. Okay, I don't want to share stuff about that. Yeah, I don't want to share stuff about that. But yeah, Dr. Holiday is here and says, "Got it. My dad's claims that was one of my ancestors, but unfortunately, my dad was a liar too, so I don't know. Our names are spelled the same with two L's." Oh, interesting. Yeah, Holiday I thought was one L, but yours has two. Bob Berkins, I don't know why, but he comes here and just says cryptic, weird shit in the live chat. A cat Bob Berkins healer in the night. Okay. If you say so, Bob Berkins. Everybody should subscribe to Invisible Night School and call me whenever. I don't care. Okay. Yeah, Leah's very smart. I like what she's doing. Dr. Holiday, do you do much work with alien scientists? No, we both have our own shows to worry about, but we're friends. And when he needs a guest or once in a while he comes here and sometimes I go over there. We haven't done that since the third phase fiasco, though. And I hope that's not, I don't think he's mad at me or whatever, but I was nasty to them on his show and I cursed at them. And I don't think he was too happy about that. But all right, that's something that makes sense. Big fan of Truthseeker. That makes sense. All right. All right. Any more comments or questions for me? Please put them in all capital letters. Otherwise, we're going to bounce on out of here. Remember, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we've got the one and only. She's an amazing person. I had a chance to talk to her off air, and it's interesting. Her and I have a whole bunch of stuff in common, and she's just a cool chick, and I'm excited to have her here. I hope she becomes a frequent guest. She sort of took some time off to deal with family, time off of YouTube, but is doing YouTube again, and we're happy to help her sort of let everybody know she's back doing YouTube, and just a cool chick and a great girl. Sheila Aliens tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Space Exposure says, ever thought about doing ghost or paranormal topics? We have in the past. We did a show on the Dybbuk box. We did shows on demons and demonology. We interviewed a Catholic exorcist here once. That was a great one. I thought that was one of my best interviews I've ever done. Just interesting listening to a priest whose job it is to literally battle the forces of evil every day. Interesting guy. So we have done some in the past, and we're probably going to do some in the future. If you have suggestions for specific stories or topics you'd like us to cover, then just email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. Truthseekershow@gmail.com. You can email me if you have show suggestions or topics or people that you want me to cover. I just ask everybody to please be patient and understanding, because people are usually very nice. But one time somebody emailed me like on a Monday, why don't you cover this person? And it was Wednesday or Thursday, and I didn't do a show on them, and they got pissed off. Like, we have an order of things here. And so even if I really want to do a show, if somebody gives me a show that they'd like me to do or topic today, we might not get to it for 2 or 3 weeks because we have a queue. You understand? There is stories in line. I have a board here over my wall with stories or show ideas, and there's things that are ahead of what you would like, but we are here to aim to please. And if people want a certain show topic, we certainly try at least to do it here. Just email me your ideas and suggestions for shows at truthseekershow@gmail.com. And one second, Spooky is telling me to check in with DMs. You meant PMs. Remember, Facebook is PMs. Twitter is DMs. What is this? Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. What a great photo of her, too. One second here. So Spooky did it. This is tomorrow night. Sheila Aliens. Can you be a skeptic and believer with Sheila Aliens? Tomorrow night on Truthseekers, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's just a cool chick. I'm kind of pissed off that we didn't connect sooner, but I'm glad that we did. Got a chance to talk about a bunch of stuff off air, and I can't wait to have her here. It's going to be a fun time tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, Spooky, and thank you, Sheila Aliens, for agreeing to come here and let me grill you. No, we won't grill her. We'll be nice to her. She's a cool chick. Dr. Holiday says she's gorgeous. Well, I can't comment on that, or I might get in trouble with my gorgeous wife. No, she is. Yeah, beautiful girl. Dude, you should really look into Bobby Mackey's bar and how haunted it is. I've been there twice, and it was life-changing. Ghost Adventures did some shows on it, and others as well. Where is that at? Bobby Mackey's bar. It's in Kentucky. Yeah, it's a kind of a far drive for me, but I'll put it on my list. There is some haunted places right nearby my house that we're going to be looking into. I've talked to the manager of a few of them, and everybody's been so nice to me here. These places nearby me, one's a restaurant and pub, and one's an old banquet hall where people have weddings, said to be incredibly haunted, all kinds of stories about them. I've reached out, and the managers of both locations have given me permission to come there, interview the staff, hear all their stories. We're going to put it together. It'll be quite a project, but I'm up for it, right? Spooky says, meh, no laser beams, boring. Needs more in the tinfoil hat. Yeah, maybe, right? Al Warrior says, I hope I can join tomorrow. I hope you can as well. We're going to have a great conversation and have a good time again tomorrow, right? And I hope you'll come and have a good time with us here. So that's all we got for you. Well, let me get that. Haunted Candle Shop. Yeah. Do a fishing show, ice fishing. I could. I have a neighbor that can lend me one of those drills, and there's a fishing pond near the cabin, right? Dr. Holiday asks, how have you been doing with your recovery? Truly an inspiration for me, and hopefully all is well with that. Yes. I keep forgetting, but the last show that I did was supposed to be 120 days, but on that date, it was 127 days, and I've stopped marking my calendar. But I think we're at around 150 or more days of no alcohol. And how am I doing? I'm having a hard time with it. I think that I'm starting to think things like, come on, you haven't had a drink in 5 months. You can have a few drinks and it won't kill you. That temptation to do that is starting to creep in more often than it was earlier on in this process of sobriety. But I'm dealing with it. I am determined that I'm at least going to make 6 months before making any decisions about what I will do going forward with alcohol, whether it will have any place in my life, like a very small place in my life, or have no place at all. These are the decisions. This is the decision that I have to make. Cosmic Neighbor saying, you don't need it, brother. Says the guy who doesn't have kids. No, that's not an excuse. I know. And thanks, by the way, there have been many kind people, including Ron. I confided to Ron that I was signing the papers to buy this forest, and that's a huge thing, something to celebrate. And I was worried that I was going to go to the bar. And Ron said, no, don't go to the bar. Call me, and a few other people that I confided that into said, no, don't do that, Stephen, you'll regret it. Call me, or, I'll come and hang out with you. Somebody even offered to drive 3 hours to the cabin and spend some time with me if I was having a tough time. I'm blown away by how nice people have been to me and supportive. It really means a lot to me that people have been that supportive. So I'm determined to keep going for another month, right? UFO John Doe. I didn't mean to laugh at you. I'm sorry, brother, but it is funny. Dude, I tried to follow your lead, didn't drink for 3 weeks, drank and felt like crap the next day. Yeah, I sure don't I miss the feeling of release that drinking was for me. Like, okay, I worked 10 hours doing something, had a real hard day's work, now we're going to drink. That feeling of release I just don't have with other things, right? So, but I'm dealing with it. I don't miss the hangovers, but I do miss it. I do miss it. And trying to feel like I wanted to celebrate the land deal, so I had a pizza. For those unaware, besides quitting drinking, I'm also eating very, very healthy, and I switched my diet to be almost no carbohydrates at all. I'm down something like 20 pounds, back to my former slim self, just about, maybe a couple more pounds come off. But I celebrated with a pizza instead of a 12-pack of beer, and I felt better the next day for doing that, right? Cosmic Neighbor says, go for a bike ride uphill, and that he heard what I said about the fake bear. God damn it, I knew I shouldn't have said something. I actually know somebody has a fake bear suit, What are you? Are you on that show now too? Spooky pimping the Invisible Night School, and that's fine. We support good content creators here, and they certainly are good content creators. Rugged Source, did you get a gym membership? Have you been to the gym yet? Once. They got me. They got me for a whole month, and I went there for an hour, and I paid for a whole month. I'm trying to, you know what I've decided I'm going to do, Rugged Sources? I'm going to schedule my day. I don't really have a schedule now. I wake up whenever, when the kids are at school. I can wake up late. I can wake up at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon if I want. So I've been staying up way too late and doing things. So I'm going to try to start going to bed early, which means waking up early, which means going to the, and have some kind of schedule, like wake up, have breakfast, go to the gym, come home, prep the night show, go pick up my kids at the school bus, make my kids dinner, spend some time with them, do the show. I don't have a schedule right now. I need a schedule. When I used to go to the gym a lot before, I had a schedule, and every day was in my schedule, hour at the gym. So I'm going to put that back in, try to do that. Al Warrior saying, eat more veggies. Oh, I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating tons of vegetables, except for potatoes and sweet potatoes and corn and other high carb things. But I'm eating lots and lots of leafy greens, spinach, kale, green beans, asparagus, broccoli, even cauliflower. Yeah. M. Stone says you'll feel amazing and you'll function at a higher level. Yeah, I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders like I haven't been for many years now. I feel just more energy. I'm getting more things done. I'm accomplishing more things. It feels good. Oh, and spinach. Yes, Al Warrior. I'm eating a lot of spinach as well. I like fresh spinach sauteed with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper. I don't know. Yeah, it's good for you, right? Asman says, sickens me wasting the money. Well, I need my former beer money for things at Home Depot for the new corporate headquarters, and that's certainly more important to me than getting a load on. So that's another motivator for me. I don't want to start drinking again because then I'll be, $50 or $75 a week on booze, where I could be $50 to $75 a week on building materials. And it would certainly benefit my life and my future much more to have the building materials than the hangovers. So, yeah. Oh, nice of you, Doc Holliday says, I'm going to email you my phone number and you can call me anytime you're ever having a hard time with cravings and just need a good support system who can relate. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate your kindness and generosity. And I now have you and many, many other people who have done that for me. And a few of them I've called. So thank you. It does help to have that. So, friends, that's all I got for you. Tomorrow night we'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern time. We also have a very special show for you where I'll be covering the Nazi girl again. Marina Sarin was interviewed by Linda Moulton Howe. I think we're going to do that Friday, but that will be an early show, either morning or early afternoon. I will announce that tomorrow when I'm more sure of when it will be. Tonight, I am off to edit the video of this new land and the forest that our new world headquarters and corporate headquarters and studios will be all built. So everybody that's a Patreon supporter or a channel member will get a sneak peek at that, and then I'll post it a week later or something like that after those guys get it. You supporters get everything first, and then we'll move it to be more public. I want to thank each and every one of you kind and generous benefactors who are supporting our show. It means a great deal to me that people from all over the world are throwing a couple of bucks in our hat to keep us doing this show. No place that I would rather be. I also want to remind you, if you're listening in audio podcast land, you're missing half the fun. Go on over to YouTube, hit that little magnifying glass, the search bar, put in there Truth Seekers, one word. You'll see me, the strange guy with sunglasses, pop up. Go to that channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you too will know when we're doing one of our live broadcasts to record the podcast. We love that you're there in audio podcast land, but we would much prefer you be here during the live tapings. You see, we take questions from the audience members. We read people's comments and read all the super chats. We'd love for you to come here and be a part of the live tapings. You are most welcome. So go on over to YouTube, Truth Seekers in the search bar, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and come and be here at our next live show. You are most welcome. By the way, for those that have been reaching out to me about the audio podcast, yes, it got way, way behind again, and I apologize for that. I've got a lot of balls, juggling balls. I've got a lot of things going at once, and I don't know why, but I keep doing it. I will forget to do it one night, and then the next night I don't do it, and then I say I'll catch up on the weekend, and then I don't. I'm trying to come up with a better system to keep the audio podcast up to date. But for those who have asked, the audio podcast, except for the episode you are listening to right now, is all up to date. They're all there. By the way, we have something like 400 hours of audio podcasts for you to listen to. Just search for Truth Seekers on Spreaker, or it's in the description of this video, how to listen to our audio podcast. It's available everywhere. You can listen to our audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSaven, and we're also going to be adding Podvine shortly. And I think 4 other audio podcast distribution platforms. So really, you can listen to Truth Seekers anywhere pods are cast, anywhere on the internet. You'll find us at every just about every available podcast distribution network. So we appreciate you you people, and I know that many people prefer or want the audio podcast, so we're going to keep it going. And going forward, I'm going to try my very best to just, after this show ends tonight, I'm uploading tonight's episode immediately to the podcast network. So this one will be available. That's the problem. Sometimes I don't do that, and then we get weeks behind. I apologize. We're all caught up now, and we love all you people in audio podcast land. And we love all of you people here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for the live broadcasts. So thanks to all of you for being here tonight. And I want to thank our guest tonight, Guerilla Gamer. I had a great time tonight just laughing. And we got to find some more fun stuff like this to do. And that's what the show's all about, coming here and having a good time. and, maybe escaping from the horrors of reality. That inflation ain't getting any better. But yeah, so that's all I got for you, friends. Thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. It means the world to me. And I think that we have some really big things coming, and I'll have more to announce about that as soon as things solidify. I don't like to jinx things, so we've got some other big announcements coming soon. And as soon as I am 100% sure of those things, we'll have some new announcements. Exciting times ahead for Truth Seekers. Thank you all for your generosity and support. And thank you all for those. I do see it. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. It really does help us a great deal to spread the show to more folks. So that's all I got, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you, especially you, Gigi, Guerrilla Gamer. I would ask that everyone please keep Guerrilla Gamer in their thoughts and prayers while he goes through what has got to be a very difficult thing, and that is he's fighting cancer right now. So take a moment, even if you're not a praying person, and just wish him good vibes, healing thoughts, white light surrounding him, and wish him good intentions. The universe will take it to him. God bless all of you. Good night.